with the Sharingan, am trash. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51. Team wiped out. Stupid. Did he get kicked in the head by a donkey? Why is he so eager to die? Seeing Yuan An's action, everyone was stunned. At this moment, nearly 300 monsters all rushed towards Yuan An. This kind of suicidal behavior was something Fang Weifeng and the others could never imagine. Even if Yuan An found out that he had chosen the wrong training ground and wanted to give up, there was no need to use such a stupid method. This kid is a freak. Old Wang, prepare to send him out. Fang Weifeng cursed, but he still couldn't bear to see such a good seedling die like this. Okay. Director Wang nodded heavily and was about to use his authority to send Yuan An out. But at this moment, Xia Zuling suddenly called them. Wait. Dean Fang, 2 directors, look. She pointed at the screen, and the other 3 looked over. The next moment, a scene that they could not imagine happened. Sage mode. Looking at the group of monsters rushing over, Yuan An took a deep breath and instantly entered Sage mode. Then, he decisively put his hands together and shouted, "Would release, Tree World Advent." Boom. The ground cracked, and countless thick and winding trees roared out like awakened dragons, turning into a sea of forests in an instant, rushing towards the group of monsters in front. Roar, roar, roar. Boom. The group of monsters roared angrily and resolutely rushed into the entire sea of forests. When the two sides just collided, the group of monsters did have the upper hand, and countless trees were torn into pieces. No matter how many trees they tore, there would always be a constant supply of trees to replenish them. Slowly, the group of monsters began to lose strength, while the sea of forests continued to spread at a crazy speed, entangled one monster after another. The advantage that the monster group had originally led was now completely counterattacked. The scale of the monster group was not even comparable to that of the sea of forests. Finally, after struggling for more than 10 minutes, the group of monsters finally lost. Nearly 300 monsters were all swallowed up by Yuan An's Tree World Advent. This scene was too shocking. The 4 people in the command room were all dumbfounded. They thought of many possibilities. They thought that Yuan An wanted to give up, that he was stupid, that he was foolish, that he had been kicked in the head by a donkey, so he gathered all the monsters at once. But they didn't think of it, or they didn't dare to think about it at all. Yuan An did this not because he was stupid, nor because he wanted to give up. He thought that killing one monster after another was too inefficient. That's why he attracted all the monsters, in order to solve all the monsters at once. This guy is too crazy. What's even crazier is that he succeeded. Looking at the screen, Yuan An created a large forest by himself, and even the knowledgeable Fang Weifeng was stunned. Even through the screen, they could feel the power of this move. Their ability to solve 300 monsters in one move. How powerful can it be? This kid is simply a pervert. Director Wang was stunned for a long time before muttering, "More than a pervert, he is the most perverted of the perverts. I would like to call him the most perverted." Director Zhu was convinced, completely convinced. Not to mention the students who took the assessment. Even if they had the ability, they didn't have the courage. Are all the young people nowadays so perverted? Even Fang Weifeng could only describe him as perverted. At the same time, the points ranking list updated in real time in the command room and offsite was also refreshed. Yuan An was originally 4th. When he let several clones attract monsters, the people behind him surpassed him. And the first 3 were all from the Tiger Academy. I say, old Lu, why is your Yuan An suddenly not doing well? Kei-kun saw that the ranking situation had changed and immediately seized the opportunity to ridicule Lu Yunshan. This is just the beginning. Why are you in a hurry? Lu Yunshan was calm and composed. He now believed in Yuan An very much, but when he saw that Yuan An's points suddenly did not change, he was a little worried for a while. But soon, the points and rankings on the screen were refreshed. Yuan An's ranking also returned to the first place. And his points were the most terrifying. Directly from 200 points, it soared to 6,000 points. This data made Kei-kun, Lu Yunshan and others dumbfounded. Is it my eyes that are blurry, or is there an error in the system? 6,000 points? This is not such an exaggerated cheating, right? Did this kid clear all the monsters in the training ground? How did he get 6,000 points? All the people present were the principals of various colleges, and they had participated in many assessments of Shengjing College. In the previous assessments of Shengjing College, there were also people with outstanding results. But this time, Yuan An's results in each round from the first round to the third round reached an abnormal height beyond ordinary people, refreshing their cognitive limit again and again. Kaikun was originally very happy, but when he saw Yuan An's results, he was dumbfounded. How is this possible? Is it a mistake? Do you think it's the first assessment for people from Shengjing College, and they made a mistake? Although Lu Yunshuan was also shocked, at this time, mocking Kaikun was more important than being shocked. While everyone else was in shock, Yuan An began to reap a great harvest in the training ground. The demon cores of 300 demon beasts are enough for him to exchange for a lot of energy points. Ding. 45 first order level 5 demon beasts, 15 first order level 6 demon beasts, 15 first order level 7 demon cores. Total exchange energy points 60,000. Although there are many demon beasts in the advanced training ground, not all of them are level 2. There are also many first order demon beasts. So Yuan An exchanged all the demon cores and only got 60,000 energy points. But this 60,000 energy points is also Yuan An's first huge sum of money. It can be exchanged for a lot of things. While the assessment is not over yet, and all the demon beasts in the training ground have been killed by him, he simply sat aside casually and then opened the system store to browse. 60,000 points, a lot of things can be exchanged. What should I exchange first? The first thing Yuan An saw was the Manjaki Sharingan Kami, Hippomorphic. The price is 50,000 energy points. As one of the most powerful Manjaki abilities, after having Hippomorphic, as long as you don't commit suicide, it is basically difficult to be in danger. But just when Yuan An was about to exchange it, he suddenly thought of a fatal problem. The pupil techniques of the Manjaki Sharingan have an upper limit. If you use it too much, you will go blind. Although the ability of the God of Power is amazing, he does not have the cells of Hashirama, so he cannot use it unlimitedly without restraint. But once the number of times the God of Power is limited, its practical effect will be greatly reduced. Hiss, how should I choose? Yuan An was in a dilemma. Chapter 52, far ahead. Then let's exchange for a Susanoo first. Since the effect of Camu was limited, Yuan An was more straightforward and exchanged Susanoo directly. System, I want to exchange for Archer Heritage's Susanoo. There are many kinds of Susanoo, but in general, Archer Heritage's is the most useful. For attack, there is the 10-fisted sword, which has a ceiling effect. For defense, there is the 8-foot mirror, which rebounds all attacks. It can be said to be the most practical Susanoo. Ding. Since the host has not exchanged for Archer Heritage's Manjaki technique, Susanoo cannot be exchanged. Please exchange Amaterasu, Archer Heritage Limited Edition, first before you can exchange for Susanoo. Damn. Is there such a situation? Yuan An was dumbfounded. At the beginning, he exchanged Archer Sasuke's Amaterasu first, not Archer Heritage's Amaterasu. Just because of this, he had to spend another 10,000 energy points to exchange for another Amaterasu. Is it necessary to distinguish this thing so clearly? No matter how much he cursed, he still had to pay for it in the end. Ding. Deduct 10,000 energy points and obtain Manjaki Sharingan Amaterasu, Archer Heritage Limited Edition. Since the host has 2 Amaterasu, the upper limit of Amaterasu's usage has been adjusted to 2/10. Ding. Deduct 50,000 energy points and obtain Manjaki Sharingan Susanoo, Archer Heritage Limited Edition. Susanoo, the third power inhabiting the Manjaki Sharingan, the power of God, both offensive and defensive, the incarnation of the God of Destruction. Usage limit 0/5 after the usage limit is reached, the light will be lost forever and fall into endless darkness. Please use it with caution. In the end, Yuan An became a resentful person and spent all 60,000 energy points. The only thing to be thankful for is that the upper limit of the usage of the 2 Amaterasu is superimposed, so it is not in vain, which gives Yuan An some comfort. He checked his panel again. Host, Yuan An age 18 realm. Second level 7, 5550/8000. Aura attributes, wind, fire, water, thunder, earth, superpower level, Sharingan, A level, would release, S level, Manger Key Sharingan, S level, superpowers. Susanoo, Amaterasu, Tsukuyomi, would release, Tree World Birth, would release, Sea of Trees Birth, expandable. His level also rose by 1 level. After killing these 300 monsters, Yuan An still felt that there were only 300 monsters in this training ground, which was too few. If there were 300 more monsters, he could make a lot of money. What a pity. Everyone else was still trying to survive these 2 hours, and Yuan An completed the 3rd round of assessment in less than half an hour. He couldn't quit early for the remaining 1.5 hours, so he simply found a comfortable position in the training ground and took a nap. The several instructors and directors outside the screen were all speechless. This was the first time that someone dared to sleep in the training ground. But it was also the first time that someone could kill all the monsters in the entire training ground. This had never happened before. If they had known that this would happen, they would have killed a few 3rd level monsters for Yuan An. They couldn't say that Yuan An was violating the rules, so they could only acquiesce. Soon, the 3rd round of assessment was successfully completed. The 3rd round of assessment is over. The number of candidates: 678. The number of people who passed: 345. The ranking of the 1st round of assessment results is as follows. First place, White Dragon Academy, Yuan An, 6,000 points. Second place, Tiger Academy, Zhaolai, 760 points. Third place, Tiger Academy, Zhaojilin, 700 points. Fourth place, White Dragon Academy, Zhaomei, 690 points. Fifth place, White Dragon Academy, Baishiankan, 670 points. Looking at this ranking, everyone still in the training ground was dumbfounded. 6,000 points. Is this a score a human can get? Damn, did he clear out all the monsters in the training ground? Even the top students from the Proud Tiger Academy were dumbfounded when they saw this ranking. How did this Yuan An show up? Isn't Zhaomei the S-level student from the White Dragon Academy? Or is the information wrong? This is fucking cheating. This score is too exaggerated. The results of the first 2 rounds were already outrageous enough. As a result, Yuan An once again refreshed their cognition. They worked so hard and didn't even get 1,000 points. And Yuan An actually got 6,000 points directly. And this score can basically only be obtained by killing all the monsters in the training ground. This is simply not human. Many people's mentality collapsed. They can admit that there are people who are better than themselves. After all, there are people who are better than people, and there are heavens who are better than heavens. No one dares to say that they are absolutely the first. But Yuan An's results in 3 consecutive rounds have repeatedly broken the hearts of the elites from various colleges. This result is out of reach, and they dare not even think about chasing it. Everyone was surprised by Yuan An's score, and only Yuan An was concerned about other ranking data. This level eliminated half of the people. It seems that in the end, there is really only a 10% pass rate. Yuan An could only feel the strictness and cruelty of Shengjing College's assessment through the number of people who passed the level. After all, he did not think the assessment content was difficult, but rather felt it was a lot easier. The 3rd round of assessment is over. First of all, congratulations to all the students for making it to this round. Next is the 4th round of assessment, which is also the final round. As long as you pass the assessment, you can truly become a member of our Shengjing College. Please listen carefully to the requirements of the 4th round of assessment. We humans and monsters are in a life and death relationship and cannot coexist. Hunting monsters is the responsibility of every psychic. Real monsters are not the ones you encountered in the first 3 rounds of assessment. Real monsters are ferocious, violent, angry, bloodthirsty, dark, and cold. Only by facing real monsters and facing their bloodthirsty violence can you become a true psychic. So, in the next 4th round of assessment, you will face the most violent monster among all monsters, the Abyss Monster. In this level, your life will not be in danger, but you will encounter what may be the most dangerous mental attack in your life. If you can't accept it halfway, you can give up on your own initiative. Next, the fourth round of assessment begins. With an order, the scene of all the students changed again. Yuan An's eyes blurred, and he came from the forest training ground to a battlefield, filled with smoke and gunfire. The air was filled with a strong smell of blood. Roar. An angry roar came from the front. Yuan An looked up, and saw a monster tied up by a ceiling chain, with a cold black mist all over its body, red eyes, bloodthirsty and violent. Abyss monster mutated black bear, level 3, level 10. Chapter 53, Abyss monster, Abyss realm. There are 3 types of monsters: tamed monsters, ordinary monsters, and abyss monsters. Tamed monsters are easy to understand. They are monsters tamed by the academy and placed in various training grounds. They also include monsters tamed by the beast taming department. Ordinary monsters are those ordinary monsters in the monster forest outside. And the abyss monsters are the most ferocious and violent species among the monsters. The abyss monsters are monsters bred from the abyss in the north of the continent. They are more ferocious, more bloodthirsty, and more violent than ordinary monsters. Although the number of abyss monsters is not the largest, in the many wars between humans and monsters, the abyss monsters have caused the greatest damage to humans. All the superpowers who have faced the abyss monsters will leave an indelible fear in their hearts. It can be said that the abyss monster is the strongest monster, no one else. At this time, the monster arranged for the 4th round of assessment of Sharingan College is the abyss monster. The 4th round of assessment tasks: kill the abyss monster, or persist in the abyss domain of the abyss monster for half an hour, and you will pass. Although they are abyss monsters, they are all tied up by the seal chains of Sharingan College, with limited range of activities, and cannot take the initiative to attack. But it is not easy to kill the abyss monster. And even if you don't take action, the abyss monster has a unique domain, the abyss domain. In this domain, you will be eroded by the murderous aura, bloodthirstiness, violence, darkness, coldness and other negative forces of the abyss monster. This domain is like an invisible beast, gnawing at everyone's spiritual consciousness. Unless you are experienced and strong enough, you can ignore this domain. Otherwise, if your strength is slightly insufficient, you may be completely affected by the abyss domain, and lose your fighting spirit, and even have a mental breakdown. Therefore, persisting in the abyss domain for half an hour is no less difficult than killing the abyss monster. This last level is indeed the abyss monster. Hearing the content of the 4th round of assessment, the mood of all the principals outside became heavy. Abyssal monsters had appeared in the assessments of Sharingan College in the past, so they were not surprised. But the abyssal monsters were the most difficult round of assessments in all the previous assessments. Even the deans who had fought against the abyssal monsters in real life and death were still afraid of the abyssal monsters. Not to mention this group of freshmen. This is going to be difficult. Trial field number 7. Zaomedi was facing a 3rd level 1 abyssal monster, a mutant tetrapod shark. Even though it was tied up by the ceiling chain, the mutant tetrapod shark kept rushing towards her, hitting the ceiling chain, and making a rustling sound. Such a strong aura. Although it was 3rd level 1, the abyssal monster was much stronger than ordinary monsters. And even if she was not too close, Zaomedi could feel the invisible field on the abyssal monster, which was constantly impacting her spiritual consciousness. This fear that went straight to her soul made her subconsciously fear the abyss monster. Can this monster really be killed? It was obviously just a level 1 monster of the 3rd order, and it was tied up. She only needed to grasp the distance and use long-range supernatural attacks. But just facing the monster, the bloodthirsty eyes, the roar full of violence, made Zaomedi feel fear involuntarily. This is the abyss realm. As long as you are in the realm, you can arouse the deepest fear in your heart, and make you timid before the battle. In the battle with the abyss monster, once you are distracted, the end is extremely tragic. Old Fang, how many people do you think will dare to face the abyss monster and attack it this time? Director Zhu joked. This time it was his turn to ask Fang Weifeng. The top 50 should not be a problem, it just depends on who can start first. Then how many people can kill the abyss monster? Director Wang also got involved. This time, Fang Weifeng answered quickly. For so long, no freshman has been able to kill the abyss monster. Does Yuan An have no chance either? Xia Zuling on the side couldn't help but whispered. She is now very optimistic about Yuan An. This question also successfully attracted the attention of the three people. Yuan An. It's hard to say, although he performed very well in the previous rounds. But he has never faced the Abyss Realm. I'm afraid it will be difficult. I think it's a bit difficult. The real difficulty of the 4th round of assessment is not to kill the Abyss monster, but how to fight against the Abyss Realm. The Abyss Realm is also the key to the difficulty of dealing with the Abyss monster. For normal people, without the strength far beyond the Abyss monster and the killing experience accumulated with blood, it is too difficult to kill the Abyss monster against the Abyss Realm. Trial field number 23. Is this the Abyss monster? Looking at the Abyss mutant black bear opposite, the invisible Abyss Realm also made Yuan An feel great pressure. That kind of oppression is unprecedentedly strong. They even brought out a level 3, 10 monster. It's obvious that they want me to fight the Abyss domain head on. This was also the first time Yuan An faced an Abyss monster. In the domain, he felt that he couldn't even muster the will to fight, and even felt like he was suppressed by his blood. But he had fought in the monster forest after all. Calm down. Taking a deep breath, Yuan An directly activated his main Jiki Sharingan. The enhancement brought by the cold pupil power made him feel much less stressed. It's my first time to encounter an Abyss monster, and it's still worth experiencing it in person. Pulling out his standard short knife, Yuan An rushed up decisively. Oh, you're doing it so quickly, not bad. Seeing that Yuan An had overcome the Abyss domain and mustered the will to fight in such a short time, Fang Weifeng and the others also became interested. However, the Abyss Realm is not that simple. Before Yuan An rushed to the front of the Abyss monster, he felt that the influence of the Abyss Realm was getting more and more serious. The closer to the Abyss monster, the greater the influence of the realm. Yuan An gritted his teeth and finally rushed to the mutant black bear and chopped it down with a knife. Bang! The mutant black bear's skin was like steel, and it almost bounced Yuan An's knife away. He was forced to step back several steps. This Abyss Realm is too troublesome. When I rush to the monster, I can't even exert half of my strength. Yuan An took a deep breath and retreated to the outermost edge to minimize the influence of the Abyss Realm. What can be unaffected by the Abyss Realm? He thought quickly and had many ideas. He could use wood release to attack from a distance, or he could directly use Amaterasu. But another thought flashed through his mind, and his eyes lit up. It's such a rare monster from the Abyss. It would be a waste to kill it like this. Yuan An bit his finger and quickly formed seals with both hands. Spiritual communication technique. Bang! A burst of white smoke filled the air, and a huge monster appeared. Devouring the Snow Wolf. Chapter 54. Devour. Strengthen the Abyss state. Demon Beast. The devouring Snow Wolf that Yuan An summoned once again stunned Fang Weifeng and the others. Summoning a monster beast, isn't this the ability of the beast taming department? But the information shows that this guy's not a beast taming department. What's going on? How can he summon a monster beast? Director Wang and Director Zhu both widened their eyes. This is different from the shock of Yuan An breaking the record before. Breaking the record can only mean that Yuan An's strength is beyond their expectations. But now he summoned a monster beast. This is already the ability of the beast taming department. How can he, who is a spiritual eye department and wood department, have the ability of the beast taming department? Exclamation mark. It's really strange. How many secrets does this kid have? I have never heard that people who are not beast taming department can tame and summon monsters. They really opened their eyes today, and Yuan An broke their cognition again and again. I want to see how many tricks this kid can play. The Abyss monster, if you want to fight, Yuan An is not saying that he can't beat it. But it's rare to encounter such a good monster species. How can it be wasted? Swallowing Snow Wolf, go. Yuan An gave the order, and the swallowing Snow Wolf rushed forward. The Abyss Realm has a fatal flaw. That is, it only works on humans, but not on monsters. Therefore, this also led to the fact that in the previous battles with the Abyss monsters, the beast taming system played a great role and made many military achievements. Without the influence of the Abyss Realm, what is left on the field now is a battle between a bound level 3, 10 monster and a level 3, 5 monster that moves freely and has multiple attributes and abilities. After the swallowing Snow Wolf determined the target, it rushed directly forward, and a dark green wind blade quickly spun around its body. At the same time, it suddenly opened its mouth and spit out a huge fireball from its mouth. Wind system fatal wind blade. Fire system violent fireball. The fusion of wind and fire instantly turned into a raging wave of fire that pounced on the abyss monster. Roar. Although the abyss monster was a level 10 of the third order, it was bound by the seal chain and could not use any superpowers. It could only rely on its own strong body to resist the attack. Zila. Purple lightning flashed again on the devouring snow wolf, and it struck the abyss monster fiercely, causing it to roar in impotence and fury. Finally, the devouring snow wolf jumped up, and its claws, which had been strengthened by the power system, drew a sharp arc of light in the air and struck the abyss monster fiercely. Bang! The abyss monster was knocked back a few steps. But it was only a few steps. Whether it was the previous rounds of attacks or the last beast claw attack, the devouring snow wolf's combo was all output to the abyss monster. But in the end, it couldn't even break the defense of the abyss monster. This mutant demon bear has thick skin and flesh, and is famous for its amazing defense. It can be said that its defense is invincible at the same level. The devouring snow wolf is only a level 5 of the third order. Even if the mutant demon bear is sealed, it is very difficult to break its seal. Is this guy's skin so thick? Seeing that the devouring snow wolf's combo was ineffective, Yuan An wondered whether he should help, but the devouring snow wolf had already launched another attack. Water system, water array column. Several huge water columns shot up into the sky, surrounding the mutant black bear, and finally pressed down together, pressing the violent black bear to the ground. Then, the devouring snow wolf jumped up, opened its mouth to reveal its sharp fangs, aimed at the mutant black bear's relatively weak neck, and bit it hard. Roar. This bite finally broke through the mutant demon bear's fur, making it scream in anger. The mutant demon bear was still thinking about grabbing the devouring snow wolf from its back. But it suddenly found that its power was being absorbed crazily by the devouring snow wolf, and its huge body fell heavily to the ground. In the devouring snow wolf's body, a bright and strange rune array could be seen faintly, devouring the mutant demon bear's power. Is this devouring? It was the first time that Yuan An saw the devouring snow wolf use its innate ability devouring with his own eyes. Soon, the mutant demon bear's sturdy body was devoured by the devouring snow wolf, leaving only a skeleton. Ding. The spirit beast devouring snow wolf successfully devoured the third order level 10 demon beast abyss demon beast mutated demon bear. The devouring snow wolf successfully evolved into the abyss devouring demon wolf, and its level was upgraded to the third order level 10. Obtained the superpowers abyss domain and abyss rage. After devouring the mutant demon bear, the devouring snow wolf also successfully evolved. Yuan An immediately checked the detailed information of the devouring demon wolf. Spirit beast, abyss devouring demon wolf, level, third order level 10, innate superpower, devouring, S level, can upgrade and obtain different superpowers through devouring. Abyss superpowers, abyss domain, abyss rage, devouring superpowers, wind fatal wind blade, fire raging fireball, water array pillar, earth wall, thunder, strength enhance. After successfully evolving into an abyss monster, the devouring demon wolf had an abyss aura that was exactly the same as the mutant demon bear. And the invisible abyss domain was also perfectly inherited. Of course, this abyss domain was ineffective for Yuan An as the owner, but it was effective for other people. The devouring snow wolf was originally one of the most powerful monster races, and now it has evolved into the abyss state. It's even stronger. This time I made a big profit. Yuan An's decision was correct. He successfully evolved his spirit beast into the abyss state, and it was upgraded to the third stage 10th level in one breath. For him, it was an extra powerful trump card. Then, he ended the summoning of the devouring demon wolf, and took it back. And Yuan An's fourth round of assessment was officially over. Outside the command room, he actually really killed the abyss monster. Xia Zulin covered her surprised mouth. Even she had never really killed an abyss monster until now, but Yuan An did it. Fang Weifeng and the others were very calm about this result. They had guessed this result since Yuan An summoned a monster. This kid is the first one in all these years to successfully kill an abyss monster. After a long while, Fang Weifeng spoke. It seems that our Xingjing College can indeed receive a very good student this year. The two directors also nodded in agreement. Now it has only been half an hour since the 4th round of assessments began. Yuan An has finished, but the others still have an hour and a half to struggle. They also paused their observation of Yuan An. There was nothing to observe anymore. Next, they just had to wait for the others to finish their assessments. Just like the 3rd round of assessments, Yuan An knew that he couldn't end early, and there was still an hour and a half left. So he simply went to sleep again, waiting for the trial to end. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55, Best Rating. Assessment ends. 2 hours is not long, but not short either. Until the end, it finally ended. Those who could not hold on for 2 hours and gave up halfway were sent out long ago. Only those who persisted to the end were considered to have passed. Congratulations, you have completed the last trial. You will be sent out next, and the test results will be announced later. As the words fell, the candidates in the trial field were teleported back one by one. Yuan An was teleported back to the square as soon as he woke up. Xiaomei, Sharingan and others were also teleported out. The only difference from Yuan An was that all the people who were teleported out, although they had passed the 2-hour test, were not in a very good mental state. Obviously they had suffered enough in the abyss field. It was only after they were teleported out and knew that they had successfully passed the test that they showed a hint of excitement on their faces. Afterwards, on the trial tower, Fang Weifeng came out with 2 directors, looked down at everyone below, and said loudly, "First of all, congratulations to you 108 people for successfully passing the 4 rounds of tests. Next, the detailed ranking will be announced." Everyone was waiting with nervousness and excitement. The trial has ended, and the general results are known. Those who passed the test are not so nervous now. The dozens of principals in the audience are the most nervous. The students' grades have a great impact on them. If there are students with high rankings, then the college that educated them will naturally have face and can show off. Especially the first place. This is the highest honor for the student and the college. It is a supreme honor, enough to be recorded in the history of the school. Finally, under the attention of everyone, Fang Weifeng began to announce the assessment rankings. On the huge light screen, lines of information appeared. First place, Beilan College, Yuan An. Total score 700. Rating, absolute. The ranking was without suspense, but it still caused an uproar in the audience. Absolute. Oh my god. This is the first time I have seen an absolute rating among freshmen. 700 points. I remember that the highest score of Sharingan College in all these years was only 620, right? It's ridiculous. After the assessment, each tutor, director, and dean will make a comprehensive evaluation and give a total score and rating. The total score is the most direct expression of the assessment results, but the rating is the most critical. Don't underestimate this rating. This is not a false name, but a real privilege. In Sharingan College, many cultivation resources need to be allocated according to your rating during the entrance assessment. The higher the rating, the more resources you get. The ratings are divided from high to low, absolute, first, second, third, and fourth. Second, third, and fourth grades are very common, and there are no more than 10 people in each assessment of the first grade. Although there is this level of absolute, they have never seen Sharingan College have an absolute rating for so many years. Today, they saw it. The first place is Yuan An, and they are not surprised at all. After all, the results of the first 3 rounds have left others far behind. As long as he successfully passes the 4th round of assessment, the first place will belong to him. It's just that this absolute rating was beyond everyone's expectations. Damn, old Lu, your White Dragon Academy is awesome this time. Not only did you get the first place, but you also got an unprecedented top-notch rating. It's been decades, and this is the first time I've seen such a high rating. Your White Dragon Academy is going to be famous. A group of principals envied and hated Lu Yunshan. Hey, it's just so. I've known for a long time that Yuan An is an extraordinary kid. Lu Yunshan pretended The excitement and ecstasy in his heart, and the feeling of being flattered and surrounded by others, were really great. TSK. K-kun on the side said disdainfully. Lu Yunshuan happened to hear it. Old K, I'm so sorry, we got the first place this year, and the second place will be given to your Tiger Academy. He really mocked him in front of him. The Tiger Academy mocked him a lot at the beginning, and now it's finally his turn to vent his anger. Humph, don't be too proud. Zhao Mei looked at Yuan An's ranking. Although she had always been dissatisfied before, she had to accept it now. She had to admit that she couldn't catch up with Yuan An's record in the first 3 rounds. Then, the results of the second place were announced. Second place, White Dragon College, Zhao Mei, total score 600, rating, first class. 600 points is not considered low in the history of Sharingan College. But with Yuan An in front, Zhao Mei's result is not too shocking. Of course, there are still people who are showing off. Oh, old K, I'm really sorry. I didn't expect that the second place was also taken by our White Dragon College. Lu Yunshuan was very proud, and K-kun, who was standing beside him, was so angry that he had no place to vent his anger. Third place, Tiger College, Hang Lai, total score 590, rating, first class. Fourth place, Tiger College, Lin Hei, total score 560, rating, first class. Fifth place, Tiger College, Zhao Jilin, total score 550, rating, first class. Sixth place, White Dragon College, Bei Xiankan, total score 530, rating, first class. As the rankings were announced one by one, the overall results were similar to everyone's expectations. After all, the final ranking can be basically determined from the previous 3 rounds of points rankings. The biggest highlight this year was that Yuan An won the first absolute first rating for freshmen since the founding of Sharingan College with an absolutely far-leading performance. The reason why it is freshman is that this rating is not fixed. After entering Sharingan College, there is still a chance to upgrade. But during the assessment, only Yuan An was directly rated as absolute first. Congratulations to all the above students. You have successfully passed the assessment of Sharingan College and officially become a member of our Sharingan College. 3 days later, it is the time for you to officially report. Please don't be late. Fang Weifeng smiled kindly. Yes. The freshmen responded in unison. Then, I declare that the assessment is officially over. As Fang Weifeng's words fell, warm applause rang out around him, sending Fang Weifeng and others off. The rest of the people returned to their respective colleges in joy. Yuan An, you did a great job. Lu Yunshuan patted Yuan An's shoulder heavily. His face was so happy that even the wrinkles disappeared. You all did a great job. The academy is proud of you. He said to the other people who passed the assessment. A total of more than 130 people from Beilang Academy took the assessment, but in the end only 15 people passed, not even 10%. But if you zoom in, only 108 people passed the assessment this time, and their Beilang Academy accounted for 1/10. Let's go home. Lu Yunshuan greeted everyone, and set off to return to Beilang City. At the same time, the voice of the system rang in Yuan An's mind. Chapter 56, Warm Celebration. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the task, passing the Sharingan Academy assessment. Get rewards. 10,000 energy points, Flying Thunder God Technique, full version. This task is finally completed. Yuan An is excited. 10,000 energy points are enough for him to exchange for a powerful ninjutsu. And the Flying Thunder God Technique is the most important reward. Flying Thunder God Technique, a necessary skill to transform into a yellow flash. With the Flying Thunder God Technique, as long as you don't encounter a space-based psychic, you can basically be invincible. Perfect. Yuan An was very excited. This time, the Sharingan Academy assessment was really rewarding. Not only did his summon beast get a major version of the evolution, but he also successfully obtained the Flying Thunder God Technique. Finally, Yuan An exchanged the 10,000 energy points he had just obtained for a would-release ninjutsu. Ding. Deduct 10,000 energy points, and obtain would-release wood dragon technique. Since then, the Sharingan Academy assessment has been successfully completed. Yuan An and the others followed Lu Yunshuan back to Beilang City and then went back to their own homes. Yuan's house. Yuan An pushed the door open and saw Yuan Zhen sitting in the living room reading a book. "Dad, where's my mom?" Yuan Zhen put down the book in his hand and glanced at him, saying, "She's preparing food in the kitchen. How's it going? Did you pass the assessment?" "Such a simple assessment. Isn't it easy to pass it?" Yuan An said lightly. At first, he did think it might be difficult, so before the formal assessment began, Yuan An really prepared with all his strength. The result was just like that. Zion is back. "Did you pass the assessment?" Susan seemed to have heard the noise and came out wearing an apron. "Of course, don't you see whose son I am?" Yuan An was a little bit cocky, and, "Mom, guess what my final assessment score was?" 600 points. First class rating? Susan guessed. Yuan An shook his head. "Too low, Mom. Do you look down on your son so much?" "How much is that?" 650? 700 points. Absolutely excellent rating. Yuan An did not keep the secret and said, 700 points. Absolutely excellent rating? Susan and Yuan Zhen were both stunned. Of course they knew what this score meant. This was probably the most abnormal freshman in the history of Shengjing College. As expected of my son, awesome. Susan was overjoyed and came up to kiss Yuan An on the forehead, making Yuan An embarrassed. "Hahaha, not bad. This time I can finally brag when I go out and chat with others. If anyone says that my son's superpowers are not good in the future, I will beat him up." Yuan Zhen was also very excited and laughed. Although Yuan Zhen was more or less uncomfortable because of Yuan An's awakened superpowers before. But now, he can finally be proud. "Old Yuan, come in and help. Cook a few more dishes to celebrate tonight. Zion, go back and have a rest. We'll call you when it's time for dinner." Susan called Yuan Zhen in to help. "Okay." Yuan Zhen went in to help cook. Looking at the two people busy in the kitchen, Yuan Zhen did not disturb their world of two, but went upstairs honestly. He was not tired. After all, he had slept during the assessment, and now he just went upstairs to take a shower and refresh himself. 15 minutes later, after taking a shower, Yuan An went downstairs and saw that the two people in the kitchen were still busy, but there were already a lot of dishes on the table. "Zion, go see why Zion hasn't come back so late. Pick her up." Susan's words came from the kitchen. "Oh, I'll go and see." Yuan An looked at the time. It was 6:30 in the afternoon. Huang Yu should have been back at this time. Could it be that he was detained? Muttering, Yuan An still went out. As soon as he went out, he saw Huang Yu coming back not far ahead, with someone beside him. Bei Huozhen, Bei Xiangkan's younger brother. "Xiaoyu, let's go to school together tomorrow. I'll come to see you tomorrow," Bei Huozhen said warmly. "No." Huang Yu refused directly. "Please don't bother me again in the future. I don't like you." The refusal was already very impolite, but Bei Huozhen was very thick-skinned. "It's okay. Even if you don't like it, I will come to school with you every day in the future." The girl frowned. Bei Huozhen's face was thicker than she thought. On the way back from Beilang Academy, he followed all the way. No matter how Huang Yu drove him away, he just didn't leave, which made her very annoyed. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of the two of them and blocked their way. Looking up, it was Yuan An. "Brother?" Seeing Yuan An, Huang Yu's beautiful little face suddenly showed excitement, and she hurried over. "Girl, you came back so late today." Yuan An smiled and touched Huang Yu's head lovingly. Then, when he looked at Bei Huozhen, his eyes suddenly became sharp. The invisible pressure frightened Bei Huozhen so much that his face turned pale. He couldn't help but take a few steps back. "Boy, this is my first and last warning. If you keep pestering my Xiao, I'll beat you up. Even if your brother Bei Xiangkan comes, he can't protect you." Yuan An remembered that Bei Huozhen had mocked Yuan An when he was with Bei Xiangkan. He was very vindictive. Although he didn't want to attack an unawakened person, he could still intimidate him. And Bei Huozhen actually dared to pester Huang Yu, so he couldn't let him go. Bei Huozhen was really scared, and he ran away in shame without saying a word. After Bei Huozhen left, Yuan An looked at Huang Yu with a frown. "What's wrong with you? Why are you so close to the kid from the Bei family?" "It's not me. He's the one who pestered me so much, and I can't drive him away." The girl looked aggrieved. This was not what she thought. Is that so? After my warning, he shouldn't dare to act so presumptuously again. If he dares to bother you again, tell me and I'll beat him up for you. Yuan An said. You beat up a student too? If he dares to bother you, I'll beat him up, no matter who he is. Hey, thank you, brother. Huang Yu smiled happily, took Yuan An's arm affectionately, and the two went back together. Susan and Yuan Zhen had just brought out the dishes. Seeing the two of them holding hands so intimately, Susan smiled and said, why are you so close today? Go wash your hands and eat. Oh. Huang Yu quickly let go of Yuan An and went to wash his hands and eat obediently. It's so rich. It's rare for my parents to cook in person. Looking at the delicious food on the table, Yuan An's saliva was about to flow down. This is all made by your mother. Your father is just making things worse. Susan said disdainfully. What do you mean by making things worse? Do you dare to say that you can cook so many dishes without my help? Yuan Zhen was not convinced. Okay, you deserve some credit. The old couple's bickering made Huang Yu and Yuan An laugh. Chapter 57, Shengjing College. 3 days later, it was the day for the new students to officially enroll in Shengjing College. Zion, you must study hard and take good care of yourself when you go to Shengjing College, okay? Susan urged. Yuan Zhen watched from the side without saying anything. Well, I will, don't worry. I'm leaving. After waving goodbye to the two, Yuan An and the other 14 people who passed the assessment, led by Lu Yunchen, went to Shengjing College together. Once again came to Shengjing College. It was still the familiar square, but this time the number of people coming to Shengjing College was much less. More than 1,000 people came to take the assessment at the beginning, and now only 108 people have successfully passed the assessment. This selection ratio is indeed strict. In the square, Fang Weifeng and a group of tutors were already waiting. Welcome all new students to join our Shengjing College. I'm the vice president of our college, Fang Weifeng. Fang Weifeng laughed and introduced himself. Fang Weifeng is a tall, thin man in his 50s or 60s, with an old face and a warm smile. But he exudes an invisible majesty, which makes people dare not disrespect him at all. Then, he said to the principals who led the team, Principals, your mission has been completed. It is my duty. Please forgive me for not being able to entertain you today. No, I will have to trouble Dean Fang later. The principals said politely. Although they are the principals and Fang Weifeng is the deputy, Shengjing College is a world apart from other colleges. Then we will go back first. These principals are also experienced. After sending the students here, they cannot participate in the following matters. Everyone, take care. Fang Weifeng smiled and watched the principals leave. Then, he faced the more than 100 freshmen in front of him again. Welcome to join Shengjing College again. Next, you will be divided into classes. You will follow your own tutors according to the assigned classes. Zhang San, follow tutor Zhang Mei. Li Si, follow tutor Zhang Mei. Wan Wu, follow tutor Zhang Mei. Yuan An, follow tutor Zia Zuling. These were all arranged by the college, not just which teacher they chose to follow. After hearing his own arrangements, Yuan An found his tutor in the crowd. Zia Zuling, a 25 or 26-year-old girl with round-framed glasses and a round face, who is a little bit cute and honest, unlike a tutor. She wears an open cardigan jacket with a white shirt underneath, and a half-knee skirt. Her well-proportioned legs are also covered with silky white stockings. Hello, teacher. Although this person does not look as reliable at first glance as other tutors, Yuan An still greeted her honestly. Hello. Zia Zuling also nodded repeatedly in response, and even took the initiative to shake hands with Yuan An. This is in stark contrast to the cold tutors next to him. Yuan An has a hunch that Zia Zuling is a freshman like him. Teacher, am I the only one in our class? When listening to the name reading and class division just now, Yuan An noticed that there was only him and Zia Zuling. He thought he had missed some. It turned out that he was the only one. Yes, I will only teach you this year. In fact, Zia Zuling was also quite embarrassed. Other tutors have at least 3 or 4 students. She is the only one. But it's not her fault. Whether the students can pass the exam has nothing to do with her, and she can't help. It's just that this feeling is not very comfortable. Oh. Yuan An nodded, without asking more questions. Maybe this is the elite teaching of Sharingan College. Anyway, there are only a few other tutors. Okay, you can follow your respective tutors to report. Fang Weifeng waved his hand and became a hands-off shopkeeper. All tutors took their students and began to take them to report. Sharingan College is very big. The solemn atmosphere came to the face, grand, magnificent, and majestic, like a coiled dragon. The moment he came in, Yuan An felt like he was facing an ancient beast, and he was just a group of ants in the eyes of the dragon. Sharingan College, as one of the 4 major colleges of the Shengsha Empire, is also a symbol of the strength of the Shengsha Empire. We have already registered your information, so we will take you to the dormitory directly next and give you a brief introduction to our college. Xia Zuling held a notebook and walked with Yuan An in the spacious college. First of all, we will introduce our daily practice and study. Since you have all gone through theoretical courses, the academy will basically not arrange theoretical courses after you come in. Most of them are about practical training. You don't have a fixed class. The specific learning and practice tasks are arranged by me. I will tell you in detail later. Then there are practice privileges. The number of places in many practice rooms and training rooms in the academy is limited, especially the good training rooms, which require queuing. The system will queue according to your admission score. This is very advantageous for you, because you are the first in the history of our academy to be rated as absolute when you enrolled. Absolute rating can enjoy the highest priority treatment in various training grounds. Xia Zuling said more and more excitedly. It was also her first time to teach a student. Although there was only one student, this was a student with an absolute rating, which was rare. There were very few instructors in the academy who had taught absolute students. She was very lucky that her first student was an absolute student. While listening, Yuan An looked at the situation of Sharingan College. Although it was very large, there were not many people on the road, and only a few people could be seen here and there. However, it must be said that the students of Sharingan College are quite strong. Along the way, Yuan An saw more than a dozen people. Basically all of them were at level 7 or 8 of the second order. There were also a few at level 3. The new students of Sharingan College were all at level 1 of the second order. In summary, those who could pass all the assessments were basically at level 3 or 4 of the second order. Then, after 1 or 2 years of further study at Sharingan College, it was normal to reach level 3. We are here. This is your dormitory. Soon, Xia Zuling took Yuan An to a small building, which was very spacious. It had a living room and 3 bedrooms. But there was no one in any of the 3 rooms. You are my only student this year, so you can choose a room at random. You can clean up by yourself. I live in the next building. You can always find me if you have any questions. Then you get familiar with it first, and we will start formal study tomorrow. Xia Zuling handed a bunch of keys to Yuan An and left. Her house was next door. Just turn right when you go out. It was quite strange that students and tutors live so close. New college life has begun. Chapter 58, Trial Tower. On the first day at Sharingan College, Yuan An did nothing. Then the next morning, he just woke up and there was a knock on the door. Who is it so early? Yuan An muttered, but he still went to open the door. Outside the door, it was Xia Zuling. Teacher? Are we going to start training so early? He was very surprised. Xia Zuling didn't tell him yesterday that Sharingan College would start training so early. He had never tried it so early before at Beilan College. No, I'm here to bring you breakfast. Xia Zuling smiled and took out a steaming hot breakfast from behind her. I know you boys don't like to eat breakfast, but you can't not eat breakfast, so I made one for you by the way. It's too much trouble for the teacher. Yuan An was very terrified. A beautiful teacher came to bring him breakfast so early in the morning. Isn't this treatment too good? Hurry up and wash up, and then I'll tell you what we are going to do today, and what we are going to do later. Oh. Yuan An honestly did what Xia Zuling said. After quickly washing up, he ate breakfast, while listening to Xia Zuling telling him, let me briefly explain the main operating rules of our college. Our college adopts the internal points system. If you want to enter the library, to learn advanced supernatural powers, enter the exchange to buy and sell items, etc., you need points. Every one of you freshmen has 1000 points. This is your student card, which is also a points card. Keep it. Xia Zuling took out a golden card and handed it to Yuan An. On it was some simple information about him, symbolizing his identity as a student of Sharingan College. Yuan An took the student card. How do I earn points? There are many ways to earn points. You can go to the bounty hall to accept bounty tasks. You can get corresponding points by completing the tasks issued by the college. But many people will grab the simple and easy tasks. If you can't grab them, there will only be some difficult tasks left. Then there is the trial tower, which is also a place you will go to often in the future. It is the largest training ground in the college. There are 108 floors in total. You can get different points for the first pass of each floor and the repeated pass afterwards. In addition, the college will arrange some tasks for you that have few points, but must be done. It can also be regarded as a kind of homework. In addition, most of the time the college will not arrange fixed tasks. You can decide what to do. Do you understand? Xia Zuling explained patiently. Yuan An is the first and only freshman she has taught, so naturally she is very concerned. She was thinking about what to do today and tomorrow last night, and she felt more nervous than the students themselves. Yuan An nodded. I understand. Thank you, teacher. Well, then I will take you to the trial tower to familiarize yourself with it and participate in a trial tower. Okay. The trial tower, located in the center of Sharingan College, towers into the sky and has 108 floors. This is a tower that has existed since the establishment of Sharingan College. It has been standing upright after hundreds of years of wind and rain. Is this the trial tower? Looking at the giant tower in front of him, Yuan An felt a strange and huge breath coming towards him, and he seemed to be able to hear the roar of monsters faintly. Yes, the trial tower is also called the monster tower, because all the monsters in it are captured by our college from outside. If you come to the trial tower for the first time, you will get 1000 points for passing the first floor, 2000 points for the second floor, 3000 points for the third floor, and so on. If it is not the first time to pass the level, the points will be 100, 200, 300. Yuan An nodded as he listened. Soon, the two arrived at the trial tower. The place was already crowded with people. At the entrance, there were about 300 or 400 people queuing up. So many people. Yes, because the trial tower is easy to earn points, and you can also improve your level and combat experience in constant battles. So of course there are many people. Only 30 people can enter the trial tower at a time. If the people behind want to enter, they can only wait for the people in front to come out. And the trial tower is divided into teams according to the rating. You see the team with the least people, that is the team for the absolute rating, and they have priority to enter. Xia Zuling pointed to a team of only 10 people. Although there were few people, each of them had a sharp aura, a cold face, and a completely different temperament from others. Are they all freshmen with the absolute rating from previous years? Yuan An was a little surprised. When he came in, didn't he say that he was the only absolute in this class? And Sharingan College had never had a freshman with the absolute rating before. No, you are the only one who reached the rating during the entrance examination. They all got promoted after entering the school through the rating assessment. Can the rating be upgraded? Yes, but the absolute level is already the highest level, so you don't need to know how to upgrade. As she spoke, Xia Zuling had already brought Yuan An to the team in front of the trial tower. The appearance of the two attracted the attention of many people. It's Teacher Xia Zuling. Hello, Teacher Xia. Hello, Teacher Zuling. Many people greeted Xia Zuling warmly when they saw her. Hello, everyone. Xia Zuling responded with a smile. At this time, a young man in his 20s came up from the absolute team with a gentle smile on his face. Teacher Zuling, is this the freshman you are teaching this year? Yes, his name is Yuan An. Yuan An, let me introduce you. This is Lin Qianqi, who is also the record holder of the trial tower and has reached the 60th floor. Xia Zuling introduced the two. Hello, senior brother. Yuan An greeted politely. He could feel that Lin Qianqi was indeed very strong and should be stronger than Jin Qianba, the president of the Shadow Bounty Club, whom he had fought before. He might have reached the 4th level. Oh, so you are the first place in this session. I have heard a lot about you. Lin Qianqi was surprised. When the others heard this, they also focused their surprised eyes on Yuan An. They all heard that this time, the freshman assessment had the first freshman in history to be rated as absolutely good. Unexpectedly, it was here. Senior brother, you are too polite. It was just a fluke. Yuan An smiled. Yuan An is also here for the first time to participate in the trial tower today. Qianqi, you can take him with you. Xia Zuling said. Okay, teacher Zuling. Lin Qianqi smiled slightly. Then, the two of them lined up in the queue. Xia Zuling stepped out and waited quietly, including Yuan An. There were not many people in this line. Lin Qianqi in front suddenly said, "Junior brother, let me remind you that, although your admission score is good, you must learn to be low-key after entering here. People who are too arrogant will not live well." Chapter 59, Trial Tower, the beginning of breaking records. Junior brother, I remind you that when you come to Shengjing College, you must recognize your identity. Lin Qianqi said calmly. There was a warning in his words. Yuan An was a little surprised. The man was so friendly the previous second, and the next second he was hostile, which made him confused. Are the people in Shengjing College so strange? Also, don't think that Zuling is your teacher and you can be presumptuous. I advise you to have some self-knowledge, otherwise. Yuan An finally understood. It turned out that Xia Zuling was the reason why Lin Qianqi targeted him. Oh, so you like teacher Xia? Yuan An's direct question almost choked Lin Qianqi. What are you talking about? Lin Qianqi turned around and looked at him suddenly. Isn't it? If you say one more word, believe it or not, I will make you the top freshman. Unable to survive here? Lin Qianqi warned with a gloomy face. Yes is, no is no, don't react so much. Besides, teacher Xia is still watching us now. Yuan An said calmly. Outside the team, Xia Zuling was indeed still looking at this side. Lin Qianqi suppressed his anger and snorted coldly, not bad. You are worthy of being the first among the freshmen. Quite interesting. Thank you for exaggerating, senior brother. Don't be arrogant, there are still many days ahead. I will teach you the rules of the academy. Yuan An sneered, looking indifferent. Soon, the trial tower was opened, and the Judeng team went in first. Qianqi, you are here today. Are you planning to attack the 61st floor this time? The instructor guarding the tower obviously knew Lin Qianqi and smiled. Lin Qianqi smiled politely. Thank you, Teacher Wu, for your good wishes. I hope you can succeed in the attack today. This student is a little unfamiliar. Let me see, Yuan An. It turns out that you are the first among the freshmen this year. After taking Yuan An's student card, Teacher Wu's eyes lit up. Hello, Teacher Wu. Today is your first time to come to the trial tower, right? Which floor do you plan to rush to? Teacher Wu was obviously very interested in Yuan An and took the initiative to chat a few more words. This is my first time in the trial tower. How dare I say which floor I'm going to reach? Haha, it doesn't matter. I'm optimistic about you. You can at least reach the 10th floor today. Teacher Wu laughed. This surprised the others. The 10th floor is not easy for a freshman. Then thank you for your blessing, teacher. Yuan An had no idea about the 10th floor. The others were disdainful of his answer. You really don't know how high the sky is? You want to reach the 10th floor in your first challenge. You think you're great because you're the first freshman? How do you know you're trash if you don't hit the wall? Although they were not rated absolutely good, ratings did not represent everything. Even if they were only rated first class, they had been in Shengjing College for 1 or 2 years, or 2 or 3 years, and they were much more valuable than the absolute in the freshman assessment. They knew the value of the trial tower very well. It's not that easy to reach the 10th floor. Yuan An turned a deaf ear to this. You need 100 points to enter the trial tower each time. Okay, go in. Teacher Wu made some adjustments, deducted the points, and returned the student card to Yuan An. After entering the trial tower, Yuan An found that this trial tower was very similar to the high tower where he participated in the assessment. After entering, he was teleported to a new trial field. Trial tower, first floor, clearance requirement, destroy all monsters, total number of monsters. 10. Lowest level, level 1, level 5, highest level, level 2, level 1. Record holder for this level, Yuan An. Time 12 seconds. Start. As the prompt ended, 10 monsters immediately appeared in front of Yuan An. Only 10 monsters on the first floor. Looking at the monsters rushing over, Yuan An didn't want to waste time. These monsters were not worthy of his would escape. Catcher. He just pulled out his standard short knife, and the blade flashed with arcs. Bang. As Yuan An exerted force on his feet, he turned into a shadow and rushed out. The thunder standard short sword in his hand drew a sharp arc of light. Puff. 10 monsters had their throats cut almost at the same time and died. For such low level monsters, Yuan An was too lazy to use other ninjutsu, and he killed them in seconds with pure physical skills. Successfully cleared the first level of the trial tower in 10 seconds. Get the first pass reward. 1000 points. Successfully broke the first level clearance record and got 100 points. This thing also has a clearance record reward. Yuan An didn't expect it. And this record is also average 10 seconds. Okay. Do you want to continue to challenge the second level? Yes. The second level is changing. Yuan An was quietly clearing the level inside and outside. There was also a lot of trouble. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the first level clearance record in 10 seconds. Every time someone cleared a level and broke a record, a corresponding record would appear on the tall tower, announcing the whole audience. That guy broke senior brother Sharingan's record. 10 seconds. 2 seconds faster than senior brother Sharingan. TSK. What's the record for clearing the first level? This was senior brother Sharingan's record a long time ago. What's the big deal? Many people expressed disdain. But today is the first day he came to the trial tower for the first time, and he broke the record. If you go, can you break senior brother Sharingan's record? Someone was speechless. Trial tower, second level, clearance requirement, destroy all monsters, total number of monsters. 15. Lowest level, level 1, level 7, highest level, level 2, level 3. Record holder for this level, Yuan An. Time 50 seconds. Begin. All the monsters rushed over together, and Yuan An still only used physical skills. However, since there was an extra reward for breaking the record, he didn't mind the extra points and directly entered the Sage mode, which improved his speed, strength, and defense in all aspects. Puff. The arc of electricity on the blade passed through the air, and it also easily cut the throats of all the monsters. The lightning demon core embedded in the blade allowed him to stab a monster and spread the arc at the same time, electrocuting several monsters around it, greatly improving efficiency. Successfully cleared the second floor of the trial tower in 40 seconds. First pass reward. 2000 points. Successfully broke the second floor clearance record and obtained 200 points. Successfully cleared the third floor of the trial tower in 1 minute. First pass reward. 3000 points. Successfully broke the third floor clearance record and obtained 300 points. Successfully cleared the fourth floor of the trial tower in 1 minute and 25 seconds. Get first pass reward. 4000 points. Successfully broke the fourth floor clearance record and got 400 points. At this moment, everyone was dumbfounded as they watched the records on the tower being broken one after another. Chapter 60. Aren't records meant to be broken? Trial tower 61st floor. At this moment, Yuan An, who was fighting with the monsters, suddenly heard the sound of breaking records. This was something only he could hear, because all the records broken by Yuan An were his records. Your first floor record has been broken by Yuan An. Your second floor record has been broken by Yuan An. Your third floor record has been broken by Yuan An. Your fourth floor record has been broken by Yuan An. F***CKME. Yuan An was so angry that he cursed after 4 records were broken at once. Although he had achieved a lot and was the number one in many people's minds, he was handsome and helpful. In fact, he was very stingy. He was the first and only person who had passed the 60th floor of the trial tower, and this record could not be broken for the time being. At the same time, he was also the holder of the fastest clearance record for each of the 60 floors. Note that it was every floor. This was a way for him to show off his strength. If someone broke his record, he would reset it the next day and would never let anyone take his record away. But now that several records were broken by the same person, and it was the freshman number 1 whom he looked down upon, Lin Qianqi was even more angry. So much so that he was distracted when facing the siege of the monsters on the 61st floor, and was almost hit by the oncoming monsters. Fortunately, he reacted quickly and dodged decisively, so he was not directly knocked out. Let me concentrate on attacking this level first, and then I will set the record back tomorrow. Lin Qianqi calmed his mind and concentrated on dealing with the monsters in front of him. Yuan An was still clearing the levels in an orderly manner. Successfully cleared the 7th level of the trial tower. Time: 5 minutes. Obtained the first pass reward. 7,000 points. Successfully broke the record for clearing the 7th level and obtained 700 points. Successfully cleared the 8th level of the trial tower. Time: 7 minutes. Obtained the first pass reward. 8,000 points. Successfully broke the record for clearing the 8th level and obtained 800 points. Successfully cleared the 9th floor of the trial tower. Time: 10 minutes. First pass reward. 9,000 points. Successfully broke the record for clearing the 9th floor and obtained 900 points. Soon, Yuan An came to the 10th floor. After clearing this level, it's time to stop. Although it was still early, he didn't plan to spend the whole day clearing levels. There were still many places waiting for him to visit in the academy. Trial tower, 10th floor, clearance requirement, destroy all monsters. Total number of monsters: 10, lowest level. Second level 7, highest level. Third level 1, record holder for this level, Lin Qianqi. Time: 20 minutes. Start. The higher the floor, the more monsters there are. But basically, if it's not the quantity, it's the quality. In comparison, Yuan An still likes to pile up the quantity so that he can catch them all in one fell swoop. Like now, it would be difficult to kill several slightly higher level monsters instantly, and it would take more time. But Yuan An could only kill them one by one. Bang! After a fierce battle, Yuan An finally solved all the monsters. So far, from the 1st floor to the 10th floor, he only used the Sage mode, combined with the insight of the Sharingan, and simply used physical skills to get here. This was intentional. He wanted to strengthen his physical skills. Successfully cleared the 10th floor of the trial tower. Time: 15 minutes. First pass reward. 10,000 points. Successfully broke the record for clearing the 10th floor and obtained 1,000 points. This time is not bad, within Yuan An's acceptable range. Of course, if he uses wood release, he can shorten the time a lot. It's okay, but it's not necessary. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully upgrading to level 8 of the 2nd stage. Another reason why Yuan An likes the trial tower is that killing monsters can gain experience and a large number of monster cores. Reaching the 10th floor not only raised him to levels at once, but also gave him a lot of extra balance in his system store. 30,000 points. He suddenly became a rich man again. It seems I can do more in the trial tower, Yuan An murmured, but he still resisted the huge temptation, ended this rush, and left the trial tower. As soon as he walked out of the trial tower, Yuan An felt that everyone outside was looking at him. Everyone's face was full of shock and disbelief, which made him a little puzzled, until Susanoo came over with excitement and joy, and said, Yuan An, you actually rushed to the 10th floor in one breath, and broke all the records in a row? How do you know I broke the record? As long as the record is broken, the entire trial tower will report it. Is that so? Yuan An thought they wouldn't know. So that's it. No wonder these people looked at him with such eyes. Young man, you're good. You actually rushed to the 10th floor. Teacher Wu on the side looked much calmer, and he must have seen all kinds of geniuses. It was just luck. Haha, it's not just luck that you can reach the 10th floor. Teacher Wu laughed. It's really just luck. Yuan An was a little polite and left with Susanoo. Only the old students were left with shocked faces. They saw Yuan An rush from the 1st floor to the 10th floor, and he broke Lin Qianqi's fastest clearance record on each floor. This guy, is he a pervert? The freshman broke senior brother Lin's 10 records on the first day. It's just today. I guess senior brother Lin will break all the records tomorrow. But I have to say, this guy's too perverted, isn't he? Humph, he's so arrogant on the first day, you'll suffer later. Regarding Yuan An's performance, some were shocked, some were disdainful, and some even gloated. The attitude of the old students towards the freshmen is always not so good. Yuan An, how strong are you? On the way, Xia Zuling finally couldn't help asking this question that had troubled her during the assessment. Whether it was the assessment or the trial tower, it seemed that they had not tested the limit of Yuan An's strength. This made her even more curious. Well, I'm just a second level psychic. How strong can I be? Yuan An looked puzzled. I don't believe that you only have the strength of the second level. Your true strength must have reached the third level. Xia Zuling said affirmatively. Otherwise, how could she achieve such amazing results repeatedly? Anyway, I'm definitely not as good as the teacher. Although Xia Zuling is so young, she is a 4th level, level 1, B-level wind psychic. Otherwise, how could she become a mentor at Shengjing College at such a young age? There is still a little gap compared to me. Xia Zuling was a little proud. Yuan An smiled but said nothing. Soon, the two came to another place, in Shengjing College, that was as important as the trial tower, the psychic library. Chapter 61. Forbidden Superpower Creates Starrain. The Superpower Library, as the name suggests, is a library where you can learn superpowers. It is even more popular than the trial tower and is overcrowded. The library has 3 floors. Each floor corresponds to a different level of superpowers. The first floor is for elementary superpowers, the second floor is for intermediate superpowers, and the third floor is for the highest level superpowers. Of course, you need points to learn superpowers. 1000 points for elementary, 5000 points for intermediate, and 10,000 points for advanced. Xia Zuling said as she walked. So expensive? Yuan An was surprised. Fortunately, he had just finished the first pass of the 10-story trial tower, which was worth tens of thousands. Otherwise, he would not be worthy of coming to the library. High-level superpowers are not only powerful, but our college also spends a lot of energy on them, so it is unavoidable that they are a bit expensive. Xia Zuling explained. The two have already arrived at the library. This is a concentric circle library, with a large outer circle and a small inner circle, connected by a corridor in the middle, with a total of 3 floors. The first floor has the most people, the second floor is relatively less, and the third floor has the least people, very few. Then you can look around by yourself first. I have nothing to do today. I have something to do first. Xia Zuling took Yuan An to the library, but she didn't plan to go with him. Okay, thank you, teacher. After saying goodbye to Xia Zuling, Yuan An went around the library alone. The first floor is for elementary superpowers, which are cheap, large in quantity, and comprehensive, suitable for first and second level superpowers. The second floor is for intermediate superpowers, which are all improved compared to elementary superpowers, and of course the price is also increased, suitable for third level superpowers. The third floor is for advanced superpowers, which are powerful, the most difficult to learn, and the most expensive, suitable for 4th level and above superpowers. Yuan An walked around the first floor, looked at those low-level superpowers, felt bored, and went straight to the third floor. This time, Yuan An was going to learn a few useful superpowers. Although he awakened the spiritual pupil system and the wood system, his own spiritual attributes are wind, fire, water, thunder, and earth. Theoretically, he could learn these 5 elemental powers, plus special elemental powers such as ice and lava, that were derived from these 5 elemental powers. When he arrived at the third floor, there were fewer people here. There were only 20 to 30 people on the entire third floor, and they were all quietly looking for their own powers. Compared to the first and second floors, which were as busy as a vegetable market, this place was simply a paradise. Yuan An did not waste time, and began to look for suitable powers on the shelves around him. Power, puppet, illusion, these are all special powers. Let me see the elemental ones, they are over there. Yuan An quickly came to the elemental book section. Wind, fire, water, thunder, earth, they are all there, but the number is a little less. The preciousness of advanced superpowers is not only because they are difficult to learn, but also because they are rare. For a college as large as Shengjing College, which is one of the 4 major colleges in the Shengsha Empire. The advanced superpowers of all superpower departments only add up to a few hundred books. On average, there are probably only about 10 books for each superpower department. Like the most common elemental high-level superpowers that Yuan An has seen now, there are only a dozen books for each type. There are really few. Yuan An picked up a superpower book casually and flipped through it. Water System Double Flooding Water World, Advanced. When he opened the superpower book, the content inside was a specific spiritual power operation diagram and a detailed teaching of a phantom. But only the first page. The content behind it showed please pay to watch. The first page in front is just for you to judge whether you can practice it. It is considered a trial. You can decide whether to buy it after you feel it. But the high-level superpower book costs 10,000 points. Yuan An has just finished the 10-story trial tower, although he has more than 60,000 points. But he can't use it casually. He has to take a look. He continued to look at other superpower books next to him. Suddenly, his eyes were attracted by a superpower book in an Anmu box on the shelf. It said Water System Creation Star Ain, Taboo. Taboo level? Yuan An was shocked. Anything related to taboos means that it is not a simple superpower. Yuan An took the box down and opened it. A dazzling golden light almost blinded his eyes. Inside was a book of supernatural powers that shone with golden light. He carefully took it out and turned to the first page. What caught his eye was an extremely complex spiritual diagram with dense lines on it. If you want to learn this supernatural power, you must first make sure that you can understand this spiritual diagram. Otherwise the exchange will be in vain. Yuan An felt his head swell after just one look. Sharingan. He decisively opened the Sharingan, and his pupil power increased countless times in an instant. The circuit diagram that originally made him panic suddenly became much clearer. However, even with the 3 Megatom Sharingan, it was not so easy to read, and it was still a bit of a headache. But at least he could see it clearly. Being able to see clearly means that he can learn it, but it's just a matter of whether it's easy to learn. Good stuff. This is it. Yuan An just took a quick look and decided to take this supernatural book. He looked at the price. 50,000 points. Good guy. It's worthy of being a taboo level supernatural book. It's so expensive. It's expensive, but Yuan An still took it. At the front desk, an old man wearing reading glasses took a look at the supernatural book handed over by Yuan An. His turbid eyes suddenly brightened, and he adjusted his glasses. Young man, are you sure you didn't take the wrong one? This is a taboo level supernatural book. Can you learn it? It's not that he looks down on Yuan An. It's just that over the years, many students have tried to learn taboo level supernatural powers, but they all failed. Not to mention students, even tutors can't learn taboo level supernatural powers. This taboo level supernatural power, even the principal can't learn it, and it costs 50,000 points. Aren't you afraid of wasting it? The old man asked in succession. Taboo level supernatural powers, indeed, even their dean can't learn it. The reason why it was released is to hope for good luck. If a student learns it, it will naturally be the best. Teacher, please rest assured, I'm sure. Yuan An said affirmatively. In that case, then give me the student card. The old man no longer insisted. After receiving the student card, he noticed the name on it and then silently deducted 50,000 points from it. The supernatural books are all specially restricted. Since you redeemed them, only you can read them. Study hard and don't lose them. Okay, thank you for the reminder, teacher. After taking back the student card and supernatural book, Yuan An left. This is the 13th young man who dared to redeem a taboo level supernatural power this year. It's a pity that the previous 12 failed. Yuan An seems to be the first among the freshmen this year. Young people are bold. Looking at Yuan An's departing back, the old man sighed and continued reading. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62, The Power of Forbidden Powers. Dormitory. After getting the superpower book, Yuan An couldn't wait to start studying and read the contents at the back. The contents at the back are basically the detailed directions of various meridian maps. As long as you can sort them out, you can learn them. The principle is very simple, but the difficulty in practice is very high. Especially for the forbidden superpowers. The whole superpower book has 5 pages, and the meridian maps on each page are densely packed, like graffiti. There are at least thousands of lines in a picture. If you want to sort them out, you need extremely strong mental power. Even a 5th level superpower user may not have enough mental power to see a picture clearly, let alone so many pictures in a superpower book. No wonder it's taboo level. This is really difficult. Yuan An moved his confinement, and then directly opened the main Gekyo Sharingan. With the extremely powerful pupil power of the main Gekyo Sharingan, he suddenly felt that everything in front of him became extremely clear. He can see every direction on the meridian map clearly. This is also the confidence that Yuan An bears to learn the forbidden superpowers. Under normal circumstances, he really didn't have the ability to learn, but with the powerful power of the main Gekyo Sharingan, the taboo didn't seem that difficult. The next day, Susanoo did the same thing, preparing breakfast early and bringing it to Yuan An. But when she saw Yuan An's bloodshot eyes and haggard face, she couldn't help but be stunned. Yuan An, what did you do last night? Why are you so haggard? Ah, nothing. I was just learning superpowers and accidentally stayed up all night. Yuan An yawned. He didn't want to, but once he got into the state of learning, he couldn't get out, so he had to stay up all night to finish learning Genesis Star Ain. Really, what kind of superpower are you learning? You have to work so hard. Learning superpowers also requires a combination of work and rest. After breakfast, go to sleep quickly, Susanoo said angrily. Of course, if she knew that Yuan An was learning a taboo level superpower and had learned it, she would be shocked. Okay, thank you for the breakfast, teacher. After taking the breakfast and eating in the room, he wanted to try out the effect of the new power he had learned immediately. But he couldn't stand being too sleepy, so he had to catch up on some sleep first. Your record on the first floor has been broken by Lin Xian Qi. Your record on the second floor has been broken by Lin Xian Qi. Your record on the third floor has been broken by Lin Xian Qi. Your record on the fourth floor has been broken by Lin Xian Qi. People were still sleeping in the dormitory, but the system prompt of the academy woke Yuan An up directly. It took him a while to wake up and react. Lin Xian Qi, the record of the trial tower. Isn't that guy trying to break the 61st floor? Why is he breaking the record on the first floor again? Yuan An was a little unhappy because he was woken up. He looked at the time, and it was already noon. He had slept for 5 or 6 hours, which was enough. Since I'm awake, let's go to the trial tower again today. After washing up, Yuan An soon came to the trial tower. There is always a long queue in the trial tower. No matter when you come, there is always a long queue. Of course, as a student with the highest rating, Yuan An does not need to queue. As soon as he appeared, he immediately attracted the attention of countless people around him. Look, he is Yuan An. He is the Yuan An who dared to break Senior Brother Lin's record yesterday, isn't it? Senior Brother Lin just set the record again, and he is here again. He is a fool, and he still wants to fight Senior Brother Lin. Hey, the world is not short of fools. Compared with the surprise of the previous day, more people wanted to see Yuan An's joke today. Between Lin Xian Qi and Yuan An, they still prefer to stand by the former. Yuan An turned a deaf ear to all these sarcastic and exciting looks. He came here today to make money, points, and experience, not to compete with anyone. Boy, here you go again. Teacher Wu of the trial tower had remembered Yuan An and said with a smile, how do you want to rush today? Start from the first floor to refresh the record, or start from the 11th floor? He was quite happy to see healthy competition between students. No need, just start from the 11th floor. Yuan An didn't want to waste time. As for the record, he just broke it casually. He was not as stingy as Lin Xian Qi. If it was broken, it was broken. Haha, okay. After deducting the points, Yuan An was transferred to the 11th floor. Trial Tower, 11th floor. Clearance requirements, eliminate all monsters. Total number of monsters 15. Lowest level, level 2, level 7. Highest level, level 3, level 1. Record holder for this level, Lin Xian Qi. Time taken. 10 minutes. Start. This clearance record was just refreshed by Lin Qianqi. The previous record was not so short. 15 monsters, just in time to try out my new abilities. Looking at the small group of monsters in front of him, Yuan An took a deep breath and formed a few hand seals with his hands in front of him. A water blue magic circle appeared under his feet. At the same time, another huge water blue magic circle appeared above the monsters. Creation star rain. As the magic circle was completed, the rain curtain unfolded, as if it were a deep universe. Countless raindrops fell from the magic circle, like a downpour, and instantly fell on the monsters. Zizzy. Bang bang bang. The rain, which seemed to have no lethality, penetrated the flesh and bones of all the monsters in an instant. It was like a high-speed iron nail hitting tofu, and it penetrated through it all at once. Even if there were monsters with famous defensive power, they could not withstand this seemingly ordinary rain for a second. They were directly wiped out. Successfully cleared the 11th floor of the trial tower. Time. 5 minutes. Get the first pass reward. 11,000 points. Successfully broke the record of clearing the 11th level and got 1,100 points. Oh my god, this power is really good. It is indeed a forbidden level ability. Yuan An was stunned. Although it is a forbidden level ability, its power is much stronger than he imagined. And this is obviously not the limit of the power of the Genesis Star Rain. If you want to try out the full power of the Genesis Star Rain, you need a more powerful monster. The efficiency of the Genesis Star Rain in clearing the miscellaneous soldiers is very fast, and it kills them all at once. It is a lethal ability. The only drawback is that the consumption of the Genesis Star Rain is very large. Without entering the Sage mode, with Yuan An's current 2nd level 8th level power, it consumes most of the energy in one use. However, with the Sage mode, Yuan An is not afraid of the high consumption. Okay, today's goal, see how many levels I can reach with only the Genesis Star Rain. Yuan An was full of fighting spirit and soon started today's sprint. Outside the trial tower, everyone looked at the records posted on the tower and fell silent. Chapter 63. Thank you, brother, for letting me. Congratulations to Lin Qianqi for successfully breaking the record for the 11th floor. Time. 8 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 11th floor. Time. 5 minutes. These two records appeared immediately after each other. In other words, Lin Qianqi had just refreshed the record he had set for the 11th floor, and Yuan An broke his new record right after. This was simply a face-to-face attack. Others had never seen anyone so arrogant, daring to confront Lin Qianqi head-on. In their opinion, Yuan An was completely disrespecting Lin Qianqi by doing this. Everyone knew that Lin Qianqi was competitive and would never give up the record of the trial tower to others. As a result, Yuan An not only broke the record of 10 floors yesterday, but now he is following Lin Qianqi's footsteps and continuing to break the record. This is not breaking the record, it is simply a slap in Lin Qianqi's face. And this is just the beginning. Congratulations to Lin Qianqi for successfully breaking the record for the 12th floor. Time. 8 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 12th floor. Time. 5 minutes. Congratulations to Lin Qianqi for successfully breaking the record for the 13th floor. Time. 9 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 13th floor. Time. 5 minutes. Lin Qianqi also knew that Yuan An was chasing him from behind, so he had already started to seriously break the record for the next few floors. 8 minutes, 9 minutes, that was almost his limit. But Yuan An, starting from the 11th floor, the record for each floor was 5 minutes. This puzzled Lin Qianqi. That guy. How could he control each floor within 5 minutes? You have to know that this is already more than 10 floors, and there are already 3rd level monsters appearing, and there are quite a few of them. Even if he is already 4th level 1, he is not so sure that he can control the time within 5 minutes. But Yuan An, a freshman, can control each floor within 5 minutes? Question mark? This record, is it fucking cheating? Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 15th floor. Time. 5 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 16th level. Time: 5 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 17th level. Time: 5 minutes. Later on, Yuan An's speed had already surpassed Lin Qianqi, and the time for each level was 5 minutes. This record made them all dumbfounded. Yesterday, when he was on the first 10 levels, Yuan An's record was still 10 minutes. But now that he has reached the 10th level, the time has been shortened? Could it be that he didn't use his full strength yesterday, and today because of Lin Qianqi, he was competing with him? On the other hand, after Lin Qianqi was surpassed by Yuan An, there was no more notification of him breaking the record. It's not that he didn't brush it, but because he couldn't break Yuan An's record. Even if Lin Qianqi used his full strength, he could only compress the time to 6 minutes at most, which was still a little far from Yuan An's 5 minutes. And the higher the level, the harder it is to shorten the time. In other words, from now on, Lin Qianqi can no longer catch up with Yuan An's record. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 18th floor. Time: 5 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 19th floor. Time: 5 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 29th floor. Time: 5 minutes. Congratulations to Yuan An for successfully breaking the record for the 30th floor. Time: 6 minutes. It was not until the 30th floor that Yuan An's speed slowed down, because the power of the Genesis Star Rain was no longer enough to kill them instantly. Trial Tower, 31st floor. Clearance requirement: destroy all monsters. Total number of monsters: 10. Lowest level. Third level 2. Highest level. Third level 7. Record holder for this level: Lin Qianqi. Time: 1 hour. Begin. Facing the hordes of third level monsters, the Genesis Star Rain had begun to weaken, and could not kill them all instantly. Especially the level 7 monster of the third stage, relying on its strong body, barely survived the Creation Star Rain, and escaped from the area of the Creation Star Rain. So much so that Yuan An had to shoot 2 more diamond darts before he could collect it. Successfully cleared the 31st floor of the Trial Tower. Time: 6 minutes and 10 seconds. Obtained the first clearance reward: 31,000 points. Successfully broke the record for clearing the first floor and obtained 3,100 points. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully reaching level 10 of the second stage. Today, after clearing 20 levels in one go, Yuan An also rose from level 8 of the second stage to level 10 of the second stage. There is only one step left to the third stage. Let's stop here today and come back tomorrow. It was getting late, and he had been clearing for almost 2 hours this time, and both the points and the monster cores were enough. After the trial, Yuan An returned to the outside of the tower. Under everyone's shocked gaze, he received the points from Teacher Wu. You kid, you rushed so hard today, and it seems that you have not reached the upper limit yet. You are hiding deep enough, Teacher Wu said with a smile. Yuan An's performance today really shocked him. He rushed to the 30th floor in one breath, and it took an unprecedentedly short time. Obviously, this is not all of Yuan An's strength. Yuan An smiled and said, "It's okay, just luck." At this time, Lin Qianqi also came out of the trial tower. He originally planned to set all the records of all levels to a new height today, completely breaking Yuan An's thoughts. But unexpectedly, it was Yuan An who set the record to a new height, making Lin Qianqi unable to catch up. This is simply the biggest shame for Lin Qianqi. Everyone saw that Lin Qianqi's face was very bad, like a bomb ready to explode. For them, a good show is about to be staged. Junior brother, you did a good job today. Lin Qianqi came to Yuan An, and on the surface he seemed quite harmonious, but the anger in his words and the coldness in his eyes all told of his anger at the moment. He had to control his emotions, just to maintain his image in front of outsiders. Yuan An smiled slightly. "Thank you, senior brother, for letting me." Lin Qianqi's mouth twitched, and he suppressed his anger and sneered, "But it's not enough to rush to the 30th floor. I hope that one day, junior brother, you can rush to the 60th floor, so that we can meet at the top." In the second half of the sentence, Lin Qianqi was obviously showing off. It also attracted the hot eyes of the people around him. No matter how the records of the previous levels were broken, the highest record of the trial tower is still Lin Qianqi, the 60th floor. This record is not so easy to break. Thank you, senior brother, I will surpass you. Yuan An also said politely and casually. This shocked everyone on the side. You dare to say that? Haha, let's wait and see. Lin Qianqi said coldly, turned around and left. Chapter 64, Eternal Manjaki Sharingan. Ding. So all demon cores, and get a total of 50,000 energy points. Energy point balance. 10,100. After returning to the dormitory, Yuan An immediately exchanged all the demon cores he got from today's level breaking into energy points. 100,000. A huge sum of money. This was the first time Yuan An had such a huge sum of money. He quickly opened the system's mysterious store. The mysterious store was full of things that were not available in the direct sales store. If he saw something suitable, Yuan An would still give priority to these. Boundary technique Ucha fire array. 7,000 energy points. Sage mode. Second order. 10,000 energy points. Sealing technique Shiki Fuajin. 10,000 energy points. 8 gates of Dungier. 50,000 energy points. These are all good. Yuan An thought for a moment and exchanged all 3 things except Shiki Fuajin. Ding. Deducted 67,000 energy points and obtained boundary technique Ucha fire array, sage mode, second order, and 8 gates of Dungier. Although it was a big loss, it was still worth it. Yuan An also spent all the remaining 30,000 points in one go. Ding. Deduct 5,000 energy points and obtain with style, cutting technique. Ding. Deduct 10,000 energy points and obtain with style, wooden man technique. Ding. Deduct 10,000 energy points and obtain with style, ranking technique. Ding. Deduct 10,000 energy points and obtain main Gekyo Sharingan, Kagutsuchi no Makoto. Kagutsuchi no Makoto, you can control the form of Amaterasu's flames at will to attack or defend. Usage limit. 0/5. After the number of uses reaches the limit, you will lose light forever and fall into endless darkness. Please use it with caution. Congratulations to the host for meeting the conditions for exchanging for the Eternal Manjaki Sharingan. The last words made Yuan An raise his eyebrows. Eternal Manjaki Sharingan? This is a good thing. He quickly checked. Eternal Manjaki Sharingan. 100,000 energy points. Note, after exchanging the Eternal Manjaki Sharingan, you can no longer exchange for other Manjaki Sharingan abilities. If the host wants to exchange for other Manjaki Sharingan's pupil techniques, please exchange them and then fuse the Eternal Manjaki Sharingan. In other words, I can exchange for more abilities of other Manjaki Sharingan and then fuse the Eternal Manjaki Sharingan. Yuan An was a little excited. It seems that he has to work hard to earn more energy points. He has only been in Sharingan College for 3 days. After brushing 30 floors of the trial tower, he earned more than 100,000 energy points. If he cleared all 108 floors of the trial tower, he could basically buy a lot of things. Yuan An suddenly felt full of motivation. I will continue to brush the trial tower tomorrow, and I must clear all the trial towers. With excitement in his heart, Yuan An washed up and went to bed. The next morning, Yuan An also woke up very early, but he felt that something was wrong. I always feel like something is missing. That's right, Xia Zuling's breakfast is missing. Although Yuan An has never asked Xia Zuling to bring him breakfast, Xia Zuling brought it to him every day. This has been going on for 3 days in a row, so Yuan An has become accustomed to having someone bring him breakfast in the morning. But today, Xia Zuling's breakfast was not seen. Is there something wrong? After a little confusion, Yuan An didn't care too much, but prepared breakfast by himself. After breakfast, he packed up a little, and then Yuan An was ready to go to the trial tower. He is full of energy now. As soon as he opened the door, the situation outside the door almost scared Yuan An. There were 2 people standing outside. In addition to Xia Zuling, there was another person Yuan An knew, Fang Weifeng, the vice president of Sharingan College. Although he was the vice president, Fang Weifeng's status was basically the highest in Sharingan College. Except for major events such as the entrance examination, there were few things that would allow him to personally show up. Teacher Zaya, Dean Fang, good morning. Although he was scared, Yuan An still greeted them calmly. Yuan An, Dean Fang has a mission for you. Zaya Zuling said. Mission? Yuan An was stunned. Zaya Zuling had told him before that the college would sometimes arrange a mission for them to carry out. But she didn't say that Fang Weifeng would arrange it personally. Yuan An, we meet again. Fang Weifeng smiled gently. There is a very important mission that needs your help. Can you come with me? Although he said it politely, since the vice dean came in person, Yuan An didn't dare to say no. It's my honor to be trusted by Dean Fang. Ha 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 ha, not bad. Fang Weifeng laughed heartily. Come with me. The two immediately followed Fang Weifeng and left. Walking on the long school road, occasionally someone saw Fang Weifeng and took the initiative to greet him. Until there were fewer and fewer people along the way, until not even a student could be seen. And Yuan An followed Fang Weifeng to the core place of Shengjing College, the executive department. The executive department, an organization that every college has, represents the top combat power of the college, is responsible for everything, and is the sharp edge of the college. Come here. Fang Weifeng led the others to a spacious conference room. After entering the conference room, Yuan An found that there were already quite a few people in it, and there were many familiar faces among them. Lin Qianqi, Zhao Mei, and Bei Xiangkan were all there. There were also a few unfamiliar faces, who should be old students. And judging from the aura, they should be at the same level as Lin Qianqi. There were more than a dozen people. Seeing that Yuan An was also here, those people naturally had different expressions. Lin Qianqi's mouth twitched slightly, and there was a bit of sinisterness in his eyes. Bei Xiangkan and Zhao Mei were relatively obvious. They had always been quite at odds with Yuan An. As for the other unfamiliar faces, they were more curious. Okay, now everyone is here, sit down. Fang Weifeng began to preside over the meeting, and asked everyone to sit down. There were two executive officers wearing masks guarding the door in person, to prevent anyone from disturbing them. There were two executive officers standing in front of the conference room, and on both sides, and the atmosphere was full. Let me explain briefly. I called you all here today, because I have an important task for you to do. Fang Weifeng turned on a projection, which showed some pictures of abyss monsters, ferocious and brutal. You have all seen abyss monsters. They are now the monsters that pose the greatest threat to us. The abyss is in the extreme north of the world, far away from the border of our Shengsha Empire. But in recent years, the activities of the abyss have become more and more frequent, and even recently a part of the abyss has begun to spread. At the border between our Shengsha Empire and the Lo's Empire, a small abyss teleportation array appeared, and the abyss monsters will be teleported here continuously through this teleportation array. So, your mission this time is to destroy the abyss teleportation array. Chapter 65, Mission Execution. Let's go deal with the real abyss monster. After hearing Fang Weifeng's words, many people murmured. The abyss monster is so ferocious. We have only been in school for a few days. Can we deal with it? Bei Xiangkan muttered. They all witnessed the horror of the abyss monster in the last round of the entrance examination. They still remember the feeling vividly, and are still frightened. Except Yuan An. Everyone else had to endure 2 hours in the abyss domain of the abyss monster. Those 2 hours made them have a shadow on the abyss monster from the bottom of their hearts. Now they are asked to face the real abyss monster. Isn't it too fast? A fledgling is a fledgling. It's already a coward before it even starts. Lin Qianqi on the side sneered disdainfully. The faces of the several old students with him were also full of contempt for them. Dean, I think this task can be handed over to a few of us. There is no need for these freshmen to get in the way. Even in front of Fang Weifeng, Lin Qianqi was not polite at all. Especially, there is a Yuan An in the freshman team. He is not in a good mood towards Yuan An now. On the one hand, this mission is to destroy the teleportation array, and on the other hand, it is also a test for you. Although they are freshmen, their performance in the assessment is not bad. In the 4th round of assessment, they faced the abyss realm of the abyss monster, and they did not fail. So, this mission is to let you take them with you to experience it together. When facing the monster, we must unite as one. Fang Weifeng said, the personnel are decided. You just prepare a little and set off in half an hour. For this mission, someone from the Lo's Empire will also come to help. You all work together to find the core of the teleportation array and destroy it. Yes. Fang Weifeng made the decision directly, and the others just complained. Half an hour later, everyone returned to the executive department. Fang Weifeng and several instructors were ready. I emphasize again that this mission is very difficult. You all must pay attention to safety. Lin Qianqi, you will be the captain of this operation. This is the space teleportation symbol. After completing the mission, activate it and we will teleport you back. Do you understand? I understand. Then, Fang Weifeng and several instructors worked together to open a dark space teleportation array. With nervous hearts, everyone walked into the space teleportation array one by one. As the space in front of them quickly twisted, everyone felt that the world around them was spinning. After a while, all the feelings disappeared, and they appeared in a forest. This forest was very strange, filled with a lot of death. All the trees around were dead, with a dead black color, without any vitality. This was not the appearance of ordinary life dying, but with a strange breath, like erosion by the abyss. That's right. The breath of the abyss was everywhere around. They had all faced the abyss monsters in the assessment, and they still remembered this feeling. Have they sent us directly to the teleportation array? Bei Xiangkan's voice was a little nervous, and his eyes scanned the surroundings quickly with anxiety. In addition to Bei Xiangkan, Zhao Mei, and Yuan An, who were originally from the White Dragon Academy, there were also several students from the Tiger Academy. Hang Lai, Lin He, and Zhao Jilin, all three of them were ranked in the top 5. Why, you're scared just after arriving. Hang Lai, a young man with side bangs and a stern expression, looked disdainful at Bei Xiangkan's nervousness. If you're scared, stay here and don't move, lest you get scared to death. Lin He on the other side sneered. Although everyone is now a student of Shengjing Academy, they are still divided into camps. Moreover, in the assessment, the White Dragon Academy defeated the Tiger Academy for the first time, which made them feel uneasy, so naturally they would not have a good face. Humph, don't look down on me, we don't know who will be scared to pee first. Bei Xiangkan also looked dissatisfied. Okay, what are you rookies arguing about? Lin Qianqi in front turned around and shouted. He was arrogant. In addition to being particularly hostile to Yuan An, he also looked down on other freshmen. Several people quickly shut up. After taking a quick look at the surroundings, Lin Qianqi took out the map given to him by Fang Weifeng. Let's go and meet up with the people from the Lowe's Empire first. This way. The trees within a few miles were all dead, without any vitality. On the road, you can occasionally see the corpses of monsters. After being eroded by the abyss, their bodies have become black and twisted, and their death is hideous. I don't know what kind of pain they went through before they died. Along the way, there were gusts of cold wind, and the whistling sound made people feel numb. It was gloomy and creepy. Raw. Suddenly, several monsters rushed out from the front. Their eyes were red, their expressions were hideous and bloodthirsty, and they were filled with the breath of the abyss. Abyss monsters. Everyone was as if they were facing a great enemy, and they quickly drew their weapons and prepared to fight. Fortunately, the level of these abyss monsters is not high. All of them are about the 2nd level, which is much weaker than the abyss monsters they faced in the assessment. So the effect of the abyss field is naturally not that strong. Young birds, watch how the senior brothers fight. Looking back at the nervous people, Lin Qianqi sneered, and then rushed out with several other seniors. After 10 rounds, all the abyss monsters were killed by them. They are different from Yuan An and others. As seniors who have been in Shengjing College for 2 or 3 years, they are not the first time to face abyss monsters, so they will not be scared. After the battle, everyone continued to move forward. According to the map, Lin Qianqi led the way and soon arrived at the meeting place agreed with the Lowe's Empire. Let's rest here first, and then act together when the people from the Lowe's Empire come. Lin Qianqi found a stone to sit on. The environment here is relatively not so gloomy, and everyone calmed down and waited slowly. Only Yuan An did not sit down. His eyes flickered quickly in the dense forest around him, and he said, "We can't rest." What? Lin Qianqi thought he had heard it wrong, and then sneered disdainfully. Why, you want to be the captain now? I said to rest, so I rest. But Yuan An ignored him, continued to look around, and said lightly, something is wrong around. It's better to leave quickly. Hey, you really think of yourself as the captain? Lin Qianqi laughed and said coldly, "Boy, don't think you are great just because you have set a few records in the trial tower." But the next moment, more than a dozen figures suddenly rushed out from the dense forest around. They were not monsters, but people eroded by the abyss. Chapter 66, Abyss Teleportation Array. The abyss is a dark force that can greatly enhance the power of monsters, but it will also make them lose their minds and turn into bloodthirsty and violent killing machines. Only some monsters that are strong enough can harness the power of the abyss and become truly terrifying abyss monsters. The power of the abyss is not only in monsters, but can also erode humans. At this time, the people who surrounded Yuan An and his companions were the humans eroded by the abyss. Their eyes were bloodthirsty and red, and they revealed the oppressive abyss domain with a cold and dark breath. Wait, are they from the Lowe's Empire? Suddenly, a senior sister saw the badges on the chests of these people and cried out in surprise. Everyone looked over. Sure enough, these people were wearing the badges of the Lowe's Empire. They were going to join Yuan An and others, but now, they were eroded by the abyss? Exclamation mark. Roar. Without giving them time to think, the people of the Lowe's Empire let out a turbid roar like a monster from their throats, and suddenly rushed up at an extremely fast speed. Fight. Lin Qianqi gave the order, and took the lead. He punched out with both fists, and blasted away a level 2, level 5 abyss human who was in the front. He was a power type and his physical strength was extremely strong. Breath of divine wind. Chain of divine water. Imperial items 10,000s of feet unsheathed. Frozen 3 feet. For a moment, everyone hurriedly used their superpowers to fight. But although those humans who were eroded by the abyss lost their autonomous consciousness, it did not mean that they were zombies. Abyss whirlwind. Abyss thousands of turns. Abyss fire and fire. For a moment, the superpowers of both sides collided with each other, setting off a large piece of fireworks. The power of the abyss is obviously stronger than ordinary power. After a few short rounds of confrontation, the superpowers of Xiaomei and others were a little overwhelmed. They are geniuses of Shengjing College, but the opponents are also geniuses of the Lowe's Empire, and with the enhancement of the abyss, their power has become even stronger. The strongest team leader, although his cultivation was only level 1 of the 4th order, his combat power after strengthening had obviously reached the strength of level 3 or 4 of the 4th order. Lin Qianqi was suppressed by him. But the opponent was also a power type. The contest between the two power types did not involve any fancy abilities, only the simplest collision of fists and feet. But often Lin Qianqi could deal 80 damage with one punch, while the opponent could deal 100 damage. After several rounds, Lin Qianqi was beaten black and blue, but the opponent could not even feel the pain. The same was true for the others. Although they were of similar levels, they would be suppressed by the opponent of the same level when they really fought. The only one who was not suppressed was Yuan An. In fact, Yuan An was the only one who could suppress his opponent. He was facing a man of the 2nd order level 10 of the control system, who was superb in the control of swords. The 3 flying knives surrounding him were all in the upper middle class of the same level in terms of speed and power. The general 2nd order level 10 would have the same fate as the others. But unfortunately, he was facing Yuan An. Swish. 3 flying knives flew towards Yuan An's fatal spot from 3 different directions at the same time. The sharp sound of breaking through the air was like a sharp arrow heading straight for Yuan An. But Yuan An simply held the Thunder Standard dagger in his hand tightly. Dang. The 3 flying knives were directly cut off by him. His dagger had been replaced with a level 3, level 10 Thunder Demon Core, and its power had risen to a whole new level. Seeing this, the man did not change his emotions, but forcibly controlled the cut flying knife, and continued to chop at Yuan An. Swish. The next moment, Yuan An's figure was like the wind, and he instantly passed all the flying knives, and appeared in front of the man. The blade in his hand directly pierced the man's heart. Thunder Destroy. Zizilla. The Thunder Demon Core on the dagger took effect, and the powerful arc instantly disintegrated all the man's vitality. Then, Yuan An quickly formed seals with both hands. Wood Release. Wood Dragon Technique. The ferocious wood dragon broke out of the ground, roaring, and its huge body swept all the remaining humans eroded by the abyss. Finally, it opened its bloody mouth and bit the man who was fighting with Lin Qianqi. The battle was decided in an instant. Everyone was still frightened, and then they realized that it was Yuan An who did it. For a moment, many people showed gratitude to Yuan An. No matter how much they disliked Yuan An before, the grace of saving their lives was enough for them to be grateful. Boy, who told you to meddle in other people's business? Only Lin Qianqi reacted and immediately shouted loudly, do you think you are so great? Do you think we will lose without your help? Yuan An shrugged, I didn't say that. You. Lin Qianqi wanted to speak, but someone on the side persuaded him. Qianqi, the most important thing now is to report the progress of the mission. Do we still want to continue this mission? The people of the Lo's Empire who were supposed to connect with them have been annihilated. Now they are the only ones left. Can they continue the mission? Of course we have to carry out the mission. Even without the people of the Lo's Empire, we can complete the mission. Lin Qianqi said without hesitation. Keep going. As the captain, he showed the captain's majesty. Especially after being forced by Yuan An just now, he was even more dissatisfied. Although the others had doubts, Lin Qianqi was the captain, so they had to obey orders and hurried to follow. Fortunately, they did not encounter attacks from the abyss monsters later. There were some ordinary monsters, but it was not a big problem. Finally, they successfully found the abyss teleportation array in a lake. There stood 4 huge stone pillars, each of which was engraved with dense black runes. The energy generated by these runes formed a dark teleportation array in the middle. The power of the abyss is particularly strong. That is the abyss teleportation array. How can we destroy it? Zaomedi asked softly. Although it is just a teleportation array, it still makes people feel palpitations. This is simple. As long as we get close to it and throw some explosive potions into it, it should be able to blow it up. Lin Qianqi said. My suggestion is to use long-range supernatural attacks. Yuan An said. He felt a hint of danger about the abyss teleportation array. His intuition told him that he couldn't get too close. You are not the captain yet, and you want me to listen to you? I will let you take the lead now. Lin Qianqi snorted coldly and ordered as the captain. If you want to die, go by yourself. I won't follow you to die. Yuan An's expression was indifferent. I'm the captain. How dare you disobey my orders? Such a stupid order. There's really no need to listen to it. You. Lin Qianqi was so angry that his face turned black. Normally, whether in Shengjing College or on a mission, who would dare to talk to him like this? Exclamation mark. This ignorant freshman actually dared to go against him like this? Exclamation mark. Bang. Suddenly, a loud noise came from the abyss teleportation array in front. Chapter 67. The whole army is annihilated. Suddenly, a loud bang was heard from the abyss teleportation array in front. A huge, pitch black, twisted, strange hand stretched out from the teleportation array. This hand alone was more than 10 meters long, and the pressure that was slowly released was like an ancient demon god that had escaped from the seal, which made everyone's face change drastically. Run. Someone suddenly shouted, and everyone turned around and ran without looking back. But it was too late to run now. Demon. God. A hoarse voice sounded between heaven and earth, as if it was everywhere, and it was like the judgment of the gods. Then came the huge abyss domain. The invisible domain that could not be seen on the monsters turned into a translucent black domain on this giant hand, which spread instantly and covered everyone. Boom. Within the domain, the familiar feeling of darkness, coldness, and fear enveloped everyone at once. Descend. Come. The hoarse voice was like the low hum of a god, making it difficult for people to hear clearly. Boom. The big hand suddenly slapped down, bringing with it a deep abyss that no one could escape, and it fell with a bang. The few people from the Tiger Academy who ran the slowest were the first to suffer. A palm directly slapped all 3 of them deeply into the ground, and they turned into a pool of meat on the spot. Seeing such a tragic scene, the remaining people were scared, and their faces turned pale, and they hurriedly ran back desperately. But before they ran far, Yuan An found that a barrier had appeared in front of them at some point, blocking their way. Barrier? Everyone's face changed drastically. The big hand behind them had already begun to catch up. Yuan An suddenly understood how the people of the Lo's Empire were eroded by the abyss. This space teleportation array was placed here Rather than teleporting the abyss monsters here, it was more like a bait they deliberately placed to lure them over, and then kill those who tried to destroy the abyss teleportation array one by one. They fell into the trap. I can't escape, what should I do? Xiaomei was frightened, and her pretty face turned pale. Since I can't run away, I'll fight it. Lin Xianqi turned around suddenly, looked at the approaching abyss hand, clenched his fist decisively, and then slammed his fist heavily on the ground. Boom. The ground quickly cracked, and a huge rock pillar broke out of the ground and hit the abyss hand hard. At the same time, the other 3 old students also immediately used their superpowers. Divine Wind Crazy Breath, Divine Fire Kyanki, Thunder Lightning. The wind and fire merged and turned into a huge firewind tornado, which was wrapped with a lot of thunder and lightning power and hit the abyss hand. Boom. Under the heavy blow, the abyss hand was forcibly repelled, and the whole palm was overturned. It turns out that it's just like this, not that powerful. Seeing the abyss hand being blown away by the joint attack on his side, Lin Xianqi couldn't help but show off. But in the next moment, countless black energy spikes quickly pierced out from the ground. Yuan An reacted the fastest and had already opened his Sharingan, accurately predicting where each attack would appear, and quickly dodged all the attacks. But the others were not so lucky. 2 seniors were pierced through the entire body by a spike from bottom to top. Lin Xianqi's arm was shot through, Xiaomei's shoulder was shot through, Bei Xiangkan's thigh was shot through, and the remaining senior was cut off his entire left arm because he failed to dodge in time and move too much. The scene was extremely bloody and tragic. For a moment, the severe pain made several people scream in different ways, and the abyss giant hand had turned over again and continued to slap everyone. If no one could stop the giant hand, their fate would be death. Would release, tree world birth. At the critical moment, Yuan An still took action. Putting his hands together, thick trees broke out of the ground and ferociously crushed towards the huge energy hand. Boom. The huge trees formed a tough barrier, slowly wrapped around each finger of the giant hand, forcibly blocking its attack. However, the power of the abyss giant hand was beyond Yuan An's expectation. Even the wood escape technique could not lock it, but it broke bit by bit and was slowly crushed. Is the power so strong? Yuan An frowned. After the head-on fight, he found that the power of this abyss giant hand was so strong, at least reaching the 4th level and level 5. And this is just one hand. Judging from the size of this hand, its owner should be a behemoth. One hand has the power of the 4th level and level 5. If it is an entire abyss monster, the strength must be at least the 5th level. If it is really a 5th level abyss monster, he can't deal with it with his current strength. Hurry up and notify the dean and others. Seeing that Lin Xianqi and the others were still stunned, Yuan An hurriedly shouted. This group of people are so arrogant when they are arrogant, but they are stupid when they are in danger. After being shouted by him, Lin Xianqi finally reacted. The fear and terror in his heart also made him not have time to care about the loss of face. If he listened to Yuan An, he quickly took out the space teleportation talisman that Wei Feng had given him before he set out. This teleportation talisman could notify Fang Wei Feng to open the space teleportation array and teleport them back. Just as Lin Xianqi injected spiritual power into it and activated the teleportation talisman. Suddenly, puff. The black spikes pierced out from the ground again, and this time, the huge spikes directly pierced Lin Xianqi's heart. Not only Lin Xianqi, but others could not escape. The densely packed huge spikes broke out of the ground, making it impossible for the injured people to dodge. Even Yuan An was caught off guard. Even though he reacted quickly, he was still left with a wound on his shoulder by a spike. As for the others, none of them was spared, and they were all wiped out. The spikes pierced them into hedgehogs. Although Yuan An did not have any good feelings towards them, he could not help but feel a little scared when he saw them die tragically in front of him. This is real death. Until now, they still don't know who their opponents are, and they are almost wiped out. This guy. Yuan An didn't dare to be careless anymore, and immediately entered the sage mode. At the same time, he opened the main Jiki Sharingan and stared at the huge abyss hand. But at this moment, the ground cracked again. Another huge hand drilled into the ground at some point, launched a sneak attack on Yuan An, and grabbed him directly in his hand. Not good. Yuan An was shocked. After struggling in vain, he decisively opened Susanoo. Susanoo. Fiery red energy flowed around his body. But before he could finish, the two abyss giant hands dragged him directly into the abyss teleportation array. Chapter 68. Caught. Space teleportation array. The space talisman on the ground disappeared, and then the calm space was forcibly distorted, and a space gate appeared. Several people quickly came out from it. They were the people from Shengjing College. The leader was Fang Weifeng, followed by Xia Zuling and other instructors of various students. Not long after Yuan An and his team set out, they suddenly activated the space teleportation talisman. So something must have happened, so they rushed over together. But it was still too late. How could it be? Seeing the bodies of Lin Chai and Qi and others at the scene, everyone was dumbfounded. The whole army was destroyed? Exclamation mark. Damn it. Fang Weifeng punched the surrounding trees fiercely. These are all the top students of their Shengjing College. How can they not be angry when they were killed like this? Exclamation mark. Dean Fang, didn't you say that this mission was not very dangerous? How did it become like this? A tutor questioned. These were their most proud students, and now they are all sacrificed. This is an extremely heavy blow. Fang Weifeng did not speak, but carefully examined the bodies of several people, frowning tightly. This breath is the breath of the Abyss Demon General. Abyss Demon General? Hearing this word, everyone's face changed drastically. The Abyss Demon General is the most powerful subordinate in the Abyss. There are 4 of them, each of whom is a 5th level strongman. And because they have the power of the Abyss, although they are 5th level, their combat power is not comparable to that of ordinary 5th level. In all the battles between humans and the Abyss, the hands of the Abyss Demon General were stained with the blood of at least dozens of human strongmen. Except for Fang Weifeng, who could fight the Abyss Demon General, everyone else present could only be cannon fodder. Why would the Abyss Demon General appear in such a place? Are they trying to sneak in and cooperate with each other? An elderly mentor asked. This possibility cannot be ruled out, but the breath of this Abyss Demon General has not been exposed too much. It should be an attack launched through the teleportation array, and its body did not appear here. Fang Weifeng said. If the Abyss Demon General personally descended on the human continent, other human warriors would sense it at the first time. The Abyss teleportation array has been closed by them. They will not appear here again. Fang Weifeng frowned. They suffered heavy losses in this mission. At this time, Xia Zuling suddenly found something wrong. Dean Fang, Yuan An seems to be missing. Missing? Everyone was stunned and looked around, but no one found Yuan An's body. Everyone's body was there, except Yuan An. Not seeing Yuan An's body, does it mean that he ran away? Xia Zuling held the last hope. It's hard to say. This possibility cannot be ruled out, but to escape from the hands of the Abyss Demon General. Except for Fang Weifeng, no one present was sure of this. Not to mention that it was just a freshman. Well, let's look around and see what's going on. By the way, if we encounter an abyss monster, we will eliminate it together. Yes. Everyone began to search around quickly, but they didn't know that Yuan An was indeed not dead, but he was not here at all. Everything around was hazy. Yuan An felt like he had fallen into a quagmire, surrounded by mud. His body kept sinking. He wanted to move but couldn't. The cold and darkness, like the sea water, hit him who couldn't move. Until someone splashed a puddle of water on his face. The coldness like a needle woke Yuan An up all of a sudden. He reluctantly opened his eyes, and in front of him was a small but bright cell. At this time, he was tied to a cross, with sealed chains tied to his hands and feet, which greatly restricted the strength in his body, making it difficult for him to break free from even a chain. Yuan An quickly figured out his current situation. He was captured. As for whether it was a human or a monster, it was unclear. Awake. A cold and petite voice suddenly sounded. Yuan An turned his head and saw an ordinary normal girl sitting next to him. Yes, Yuan An's first reaction was to distinguish whether she was a normal human. He still remembered that when he was captured by the Abyss Monster, so it stands to reason that this should be the lair of the Abyss Monster. But judging from the current situation, at least the girl in front of him is still a normal human being. Who are you? While asking the question, Yuan An's eyes were quickly looking around. He was now in an ordinary cage. Except for an iron fence in front, all other sides were bare walls. There was a table next to him, on which were placed various instruments of torture. There were pliers, pepper spray, whips, candles, etc. Finally, the girl was the only one left. Yuan An looked at the girl. She was about 18 or 19 years old, with a round face and a short stature. She was petite and cute. She was pretty, with bright eyes, white teeth, and skin as white as cream. She was a real beauty. It was a pity that Yuan An had no interest in her. You are very alert. You have looked around the room in such a short time. The girl was also very sharp. She knew that Yuan An had just looked around. But it's useless. You are now in the territory of the abyss. No one will come to save you, and you can't run away. Aren't you also a human? Then why don't you have to be tied up? Yuan An asked back. He did not feel the breath of the abyss from the girl, which showed that she was indeed a normal human. Unexpectedly, the girl's reaction was also very fast. She glanced at Yuan An with a cunning look. You want to trick me? I advise you to give up. I can stay here, because of my excellent interrogation skills. I advise you to confess obediently, so that you can suffer less physical pain, and pass away earlier. The girl quickly glanced at the table, and finally picked up a long whip, and swung it hard on the ground. Snap, it was very crisp. A beautiful girl, holding a whip, is ready to make you suffer physical pain. Why does this feel a bit strange and exciting? Of course, Yuan An doesn't have this habit. And don't be fooled by the girl's small size, but she will definitely not be gentle when she whips. You want me to confess, so why don't you ask? Yuan An said. Ah, haven't I asked yet? The girl realized her mistake and panicked for a moment, with a trace of panic on her round face. But soon, she forced herself to calm down, whipped the whip hard again, and said fiercely, tell me everything you know about your Sharingan college. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69. Using illusion in front of the Sharingan. The vice president of Sharingan College's Fang Weifeng, a 5th level expert. My mentor is Xia Zuling, a 4th level psychic. There are about 300 or 400 mentors in our college, and they should all be 4th level psychics. The students are not sure, but their strength is definitely not as strong as their mentors. Students like us are actually selected from various colleges in other cities, and then pass the assessment of Sharingan College before entering. The assessment of Sharingan College is very strict. For example, in my class, there were more than 1,000 people and only more than 100 people successfully entered Sharingan College. Also, our college is very large, almost comparable to a small city, with hundreds of various training grounds, student dormitories. Yuan An talked non-stop, and the girl was listening carefully, while recording every word Yuan An said on paper. But slowly, she suddenly realized that what Yuan An said seemed to be off topic. What a mess are you talking about? She realized that Yuan An was talking about some meaningless things. Didn't you ask me to tell you everything about Sharingan College? I've only said a little bit now, and there's still a lot of information left to tell you. How about you listen to me first? Yuan An looked innocent. He's been very honest, okay? He didn't need the girl to whip him. He had already told everything he knew. Be more cooperative. I don't want to know these trivial things. I want to know useful information. What is useful information? How do I know? By the way, what's your name? Let's get to know each other. My name is Lin. No, I'm asking you a question now. Don't interrupt. The girl realized it belatedly, and immediately her teeth itched with anger, and she showed two angry little fangs. Oh Xia Lin, I know you now. Yuan An nodded in sudden realization. The girl finally understood that from the beginning, Yuan An didn't intend to cooperate with him well, but was wasting her time. She was so angry that her teeth itched, and she said viciously, you force me to do this. My ability is specifically used for interrogation. No matter how tough a man is, he will have to obey me. The girl suddenly sneered and walked in front of Yuan An. Her bright eyes suddenly turned into a pair of golden pupils, dazzling and dazzling. Spiritual pupil system? Yuan An was slightly startled. It was the first time he met a spiritual pupil system other than him. Humph, you know you are afraid now? It's too late. Now even if you beg for mercy and want to confess, it's too late. Seeing the change in Yuan An's expression, the girl thought he was afraid of her eyes and smiled even more brightly. Tell me the truth. Illusion torture. The girl's pair of bright golden eyes exuded a magical pupil power, which turned into an illusion attack and immediately immersed in Yuan An's mind. Yuan An's pupils shrank suddenly, and then his head dropped, and he stopped struggling. Come on, tell me, what's your name? Where are you from? The girl asked. My name is Yuan An. I'm from the Shengsha Empire. Well, the girl nodded with satisfaction. It seemed that Yuan An had indeed been under the illusion. Okay, let me ask you, who is the strongest person in your Shengjing college? What is his current strength? I don't know. I don't know? The girl was stunned. Her first reaction was that Yuan An was being stubborn. But he had already been under the illusion. How could he still be stubborn? It seems that he really doesn't know. Then how many 5th level superpowers are there in your Shengjing college? Are they all in the college? I don't know. I don't know again. Then what information do you know about the 5th level powerhouses in your Shengjing college? The girl changed the question. It's impossible that you still don't know when you ask like this. But Yuan An's answer was still I don't know. How can you still not know? The girl got anxious all of a sudden. How could he not know? As a student, how can he not know anything about his own college? Exclamation mark. What the hell is in your head, you guy? The girl was so angry that she rushed to Yuan An, intending to slap him twice to vent her anger. But at this moment, Yuan An suddenly woke up and raised his head decisively. Crack. The sealing chain on his hand was suddenly broken by him, and then he pinched the girl's white neck with one hand. You are not under the illusion? The girl widened her eyes in surprise. In Yuan An's current state, how could he look like he was under an illusion? Of course, I forgot to tell you that illusions are my strong point, especially in the spiritual eyes. Yuan An sneered, and his eyes suddenly turned into Sharingan. Of course he would not be under the girl's illusion. In front of the Sharingan, all illusions are futile. Then, next, it's my turn to steal your information. Yuan An's Sharingan exuded deep pupil power, and he also cast an illusion on the girl. However, the girl did not react. The bright golden eyes were using her own pupil power to resist Yuan An's illusion. I see. I didn't expect your pupil power to be so strong that you can be immune to my illusion. Yuan An raised his eyebrows, a little surprised. Damn it, stop looking down on me. The girl suddenly gritted her teeth, resisting the suffocation of being pinched by Yuan An, and slashed at Yuan An with a knife. Swish. A sharp wind blade brushed past Yuan An, almost hitting him. I didn't expect you to be a dual-powered user of the spiritual eye and wind element, but you're still a little short of a sneak attack. Yuan An grabbed the girl's wrist with one hand, and 5 flames ignited on the 5 fingers of his other hand, and then he slapped her lower abdomen with a palm. Fire escape, heavenly prison. 2 fiery marks were branded on the girl's body, and the burning feeling made the girl's pretty face suddenly red, revealing a look of pain. What did you do to me? A kind of sealing technique. If you force your power, this sealing technique will burn you to ashes. Yuan An said calmly. Do you think I will believe you? A fierce look flashed in the girl's eyes, and she decisively raised her hand again. But as soon as she activated her spiritual power, the seal on her body took effect, and the intense burning sensation made her feel as if she was about to be burned to ashes. She had to give up the use of her spiritual power. I told you. The girl looked at him angrily without saying anything. At this moment, there was a sound of an iron door opening outside, and footsteps were heard. The 2 people's faces changed. The girl immediately rushed to the door, shouting as she rushed, "Help!" Fortunately, Yuan An was quick-witted and quick-handed. He stepped forward and grabbed the girl, and then quickly covered her mouth. Woo. Chapter 70. Lin Mengxi. Be quiet and stay still. If you don't obey, you will be punished. 2 patrolling sentinels walked back and forth in the corridor outside the cell. When passing by Yuan An's cell, the 2 sentinels looked inside. Miss, how is the interrogation going? Do you need our help? A sentinel came to the iron door and asked respectfully. Almost done, but this guy is too fragile and fainted. I will continue to ask later. The girl sat in front of the table and said with her back to the 2 sentinels. Okay. The sentinel left without asking any more questions. Little did he know that under the table, the real girl had been tied up by Yuan An. The sitting girl and the tied Yuan An were just two wooden clones. At this time, the posture of Yuan An and the girl was quite subtle, because there was only one place under the table in the cell where people could hide, and it was not easy for two people to hide. So Yuan An just had to press the girl under him, and it was also convenient to cover her mouth, to prevent her from speaking. I warn you, you'd better cooperate obediently, it will be good for all of us, otherwise, if I'm exposed, I will also drag you down, understand? Yuan An turned his finger into a sharp wooden thorn and pressed it against the girl's snow-white neck. The latter was so angry that she stared at him with her eyes, as if she wanted to eat him. She was even a little unconvinced, and her petite body tried to struggle. But in return, she was threatened by Yuan An. Do you want to die so much? Yuan An was originally only half lying on her, and now the girl was so disobedient that he had to press his whole body down. The two of them were face to face and pressed tightly together. Yuan An felt a very clear softness, which made his heart move slightly, and a hint of charm emerged. The girl actually had a faint floral scent on her body, which was very elegant and simple, making people feel comfortable and relaxed. Of course, Yuan An didn't have any random thoughts now, but was concentrating on being alert. The two sentinels came in from outside, passed by, but didn't come out yet. If you listen carefully, you can hear the sound of them hitting the iron door with sticks. That means there is more than one cell here. In order not to be discovered, Yuan An cannot come out now. The girl was pressed in such an ambiguous posture, which made her feel ashamed and angry, and her pretty face flushed. Woo woo. Her mouth was covered, so she could only make a slight sound, and she was still trying to struggle. Do you want to die so much? Seeing her so restless, Yuan An glared at her fiercely, and the wooden thorn against the girl's neck also exerted a little force, piercing the white and tender skin. A little blood oozed out all of a sudden. The sharp pain on her neck made the girl calm down all of a sudden. It also made her understand that Yuan An was not joking with her. If she was really discovered, Yuan An would not mind dragging the girl to the bottom. Feeling that the girl under him was slowly calming down, Yuan An breathed a sigh of relief and focused his attention on the outside. 5 minutes later, the two sentinels finally came back and walked out of the cell. After another 3 minutes, Yuan An slowly breathed a sigh of relief after confirming that there was no problem outside. But he did not relax his vigilance towards the girl under him, but continued to threaten. Now, I'll let you go. If you dare to shout, I will kill you immediately. The girl did not speak, but just looked at Yuan An and seemed to calm down. Yuan An slowly released her mouth, and she did not shout, but she said coldly and in a normal voice, if you dare to do this to me, I will definitely make you live a life worse than death. Such threats are useless to me now. Anyway, I have been captured by you. Yuan An moved away from the girl slightly. He was not afraid that the girl would run away. After being sealed by the fire escape heavenly prison, she had been restricted from using superpowers. And not being able to use superpowers is no different from ordinary people. I didn't expect that you are not only immune to my illusions, but also broke free from the seal chains that can restrict the operation of spiritual power. You are worthy of being the best student in Shengjing College. The girl said. It's not your turn to interrogate me now. I ask, you answer. The offense and defense changed, and now it was Yuan An's turn to interrogate this guy. However, he was quite surprised that the girl's spiritual eyes were immune to the illusion of the Sharingan. If he couldn't use illusions, he could only interrogate normally. The first question is, where is this place? The girl didn't hide it and said, this is the abyss, so don't think that someone will come to save you, and don't think that you can get out by holding me hostage. Abyss? Although he already knew that this was likely to be the case, when he really knew it, Yuan An's heart sank. Since this is the abyss, why don't you have the breath of the abyss? What is the breath of the abyss? The girl asked back. This question asked Yuan An. But soon, he did not continue on this question, but changed the question to another one. Just now, I heard them call you miss, so, in fact, you are not an ordinary interrogator, but a lady of status, right? Yuan An heard the two sentinels' questions clearly, and their tone of questioning was very respectful. The attitudes in other cells were very bad. Comparing the two, it is not difficult to guess that the identity of the girl in front of him is not simple. After hearing Yuan An's words, the girl's face changed slightly, confirming Yuan An's guess. I already know the answer to this question, so the next question is how to leave here? You can't leave. The girl said calmly. This is not the answer I want. Yuan An put the wooden thorn against the girl's snow white neck again. I think you, a lady, should cherish your life, right? I'm just an ordinary human being. In exchange for your life, I'm a winner, no matter how I think about it. He guessed that the girl's identity must be not simple, basically the daughter of a big shot in the abyss, or the saint of the abyss. No matter which one it is, it can be used as a hostage. The girl's face gradually turned cold, but she didn't show any anger in the end. She just said, I can take you out of this prison. Yuan An was waiting for this sentence. If it weren't for the fact that the illusion didn't work, he wouldn't have to spend so much effort. One last question. What's your name? Lin Mengxi. It's a nice name, so please lead the way, Miss Lin. Although he knew that this approach was very risky, it was the only way for Yuan An to leave here now. Chapter 71. Abyss Demon General King Lang. This is a huge circular prison city, with a spacious square in the middle and a circular corridor around it. There are corridors leading to the cells in the corridor, and each corridor has 2 sentinels responsible for patrolling and checking. Lin Mengxi walked out of the corridor slowly with Yuan An, who was locked in handcuffs. The oncoming sentry saw it and stopped immediately, respectfully greeting, Miss, where are you taking him? I have already interrogated this person, and I'm going to take him to the next place to deal with him. Lin Mengxi said. Oh, the slaughterhouse is so bloody and dirty, miss, you'd better not go there. Just hand this person over to us. A sentry took the initiative to say. When Yuan An heard it, he poked Lin Mengxi's waist with his fingers, hidden behind his back, and the meaning was very clear. If Lin Mengxi wanted to hand him over to someone else, Yuan An could kill her first. Lin Mengxi's expression did not change, and she said calmly, no, it's not like I haven't been to that place before. You guys are busy with yours, don't worry about me. Okay. The 2 sentinels did not ask any more questions, nodded, and hurried away. It seems that your identity here is not simple. At first I thought you were just an ordinary interrogator. Now it seems that I'm lucky. Yuan An whispered with a bit of sarcasm. He has already been arrested, so he naturally doesn't need to be very nice to Lin Mengxi or others. This is a huge prison, where all kinds of humans are imprisoned. Yuan An doesn't know what the humans imprisoned here have in common. He can only save himself now. Even if you hold me hostage, we can't get out. Lin Mengxi has become very calm now. It is hard to imagine that she is not much older than Yuan An, but she can remain so calm. Maybe this is the cultivation of being a powerful lady. Don't talk nonsense, continue to lead the way. Yuan An didn't know anything about this prison, and he didn't want to stay here any longer. Walking along the corridor, he also met many sentinels along the way, but their attitude towards Lin Mengxi was very respectful, and no one who didn't know how to make trouble came. Soon, Lin Mengxi brought Yuan An to a city gate. This gate leads to the outside, and there are several guards guarding the gate. More importantly, Yuan An felt the breath of the abyss from these people. This is indeed the abyss, and the breath of these people seems to be level 3, level 5. Yuan An immediately took a good look at everything around him. From the moment he followed Lin Mengxi out of the cell, he had been paying attention to everything around him. He knew exactly how many sentries there were in the entire prison, how many were guarding outside, and how many were patrolling inside. Miss Lin, what are you doing? Several abyss guards saw Lin Mengxi coming, and looked over with questioning expressions on their faces. I'm going to take this prisoner out to deal with him. Lin Mengxi said calmly. I'm sorry, Miss Lin. According to the rules, if there are prisoners to be dealt with, just hand them over to us, and don't bother you. The abyss guard said. I said, I want to go out myself. Is that not okay? Lin Mengxi showed a hint of anger on her face. The abyss guard lowered his head slightly, but still said firmly, I'm sorry, we can't let you out without the consent of the demon general. So, do I not even have the power to order you now? Lin Mengxi's face was getting more and more angry, and there was a bit of angry roar in her voice. The Abyss guards just lowered their heads and let Lin Mengzi scold them, without saying anything, without refutation, but also without opening the door. Yuan An frowned slightly. It seems that Lin Mengzi's status here is not as high as he imagined. And the Abyss guards also mentioned the demon general. It should be the owner of the Abyss giant hand that caught him. It seems that he is the master here. Seeing that the situation was at a stalemate, a deep voice suddenly came. Mengzi, what's wrong? Everyone turned around and saw a burly, muscular, and sallow-skinned man coming. An invisible breath naturally emanated from him, and the strong Abyss breath made Yuan An frown. Meet the Azure Dragon Demon General. The Abyss guard quickly knelt on one knee to salute. Is he the Demon General? Yuan An narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at the man secretly. The thick aura was very powerful, covering the heavy Abyss field, but it was exactly the same as the aura of the Abyss giant hand. Isn't this the man from the Shengsha Empire that I captured that day? You have finished the interrogation so quickly. Where are you taking him? The Azure Dragon Demon General immediately saw Yuan An and asked. His perception was very sharp. Yuan An didn't dare to retract his gaze quickly and couldn't be careless lest he reveal a flaw. Lin Mengzi didn't seem to have any feelings for the Azure Dragon Demon General and reacted very calmly. Well, I have finished the interrogation and I plan to take him to the slaughterhouse. That place is so bloody and you are so pure, it's not suitable for you to go to that kind of place. Be good, let's not go. The Azure Dragon Demon General said and was about to reach out to Lin Mengzi. Yuan An's heart was lifted up all of a sudden. The Azure Dragon Demon General was very powerful, and he was not sure that he could beat him head on for the time being. If the Azure Dragon Demon General found out that Lin Mengzi's current situation was not right, it would be very troublesome. I've already said it, it's none of your business. To Yuan An's surprise, Lin Mengzi slapped the Azure Dragon Demon General's hand away with a slap, with a look of disgust on her face. I've already said it, don't touch me. The Azure Dragon Demon General was not angry, but just blamed himself. I'm sorry, I was reckless. But you still can't leave here, and you can't go to the slaughterhouse. Come on, take this human down, and send him to the slaughterhouse. He was not angry with Lin Mengzi, but he directly ordered others to take Yuan An away. Lin Mengzi's going to the slaughterhouse was just an excuse, just to get out. If someone else took her to the slaughterhouse, that would be two completely different concepts. And it seems that, although Lin Mengzi's status is high, it is not higher than that of the Azure Dragon Demon General. With the Azure Dragon Demon General here, she can't take Yuan An out again. What should I do? Seeing the two Abyss guards coming over, Yuan An was thinking quickly about countermeasures. Don't move. In the end, Yuan An had to do it himself, and immediately broke free from the chains on his hands, and then held Lin Mengzi hostage from behind. Everyone was shocked and dared not move. Only the Azure Dragon Demon General remained calm, with a gleam in his eyes. What a cunning human being. She is quite capable. Yuan An said coldly, I don't want to hear any nonsense. Open the city gate and let me out, or I will kill her. Believe me, I'm confident that I can kill her before you do anything. Chapter 72, Escape from the Prison. Although I'm not your opponent, I'm sure that I can pull her along before you make a move. Yuan An pinched Lin Mengzi's snow-white neck, and at the same time, a sharp wooden thorn was pressed against Lin Mengzi's forehead. At the same time, he had already activated the main Jiki Sharingan and the Sage mode. Azure Dragon Demon General, a 5th level strongman. In front of such a strong enemy, you can't be careless at all. The sudden situation caught everyone off guard. But as a Demon General, Azure Dragon Demon General can calm down at the first time, no matter what happens. He looked at Yuan An, with a cold breath in his eyes, and said, Human, you are looking for death. It doesn't matter whether I'm looking for death, but if I delay any longer, I can't guarantee her life or death. Yuan An was gambling on the importance of Lin Mengzi to Azure Dragon Demon General. Judging from the conversation between Lin Mengzi and Azure Dragon Demon General just now, although Lin Mengzi's status is not very high, it will not be very low, and Azure Dragon Demon General cares about her very much. Although the relationship between the two may not be very friendly, it can be seen that the Azure Dragon Demon General still respects Lin Mengzi, which means that Lin Mengzi is also more important to him. Yuan An is just watching to see whether he, the captive, is more important or Lin Mengzi is more important in the heart of the Azure Dragon Demon General. The Azure Dragon Demon General narrowed his eyes slightly. I can let you leave, but you have to leave her behind. You have no bargaining power. If I confirm that it is safe, I will naturally let her go. Yuan An is not so stupid. If he is not sure that he is really safe, he will not let her go. Okay, open the door for him. The Azure Dragon Demon General finally gave in, waved his hand, and asked someone to open the city gate. Before leaving, I warn you that it is best not to let anyone follow you, otherwise, I will hold her hostage for as long as you follow. Unless you don't want me to let her go. After leaving a warning, Yuan An took Lin Mengzi hostage and left the city. Outside the city gate, there is a dense forest. Where are you going? Yuan An asked. Lin Mengzi replied, I have never been out before. I don't know how to get out. Hey, I haven't let you go yet. Why are you so uncooperative? Even if you kill me, I won't know. Lin Mengzi looked calm. If it weren't for the people of the Azure Dragon Demon General who were watching closely behind him, Yuan An really didn't want to bring Lin Mengzi with him. But along the way, Lin Mengzi was quite cooperative. She might really not know. Thinking of this, Yuan An used the powerful perception of the sage mode to carefully sense the forest in front of him. After confirming that there was no ambush in front, he held Lin Mengzi hostage and moved forward. Behind him, the Abyss Demon General and a group of Abyss guards had already chased out. Chase him, don't let him run away, and don't let him take Mengzi away. The Azure Dragon Demon General had a cold face. Yes. The Abyss guards behind him immediately chased after him. In the dense forest, Yuan An led Lin Mengzi forward quickly, but the Abyss guards behind him chased after him relentlessly. The Demon General didn't listen to me and sent people to chase us. It seems that your identity is not very useful. With Lin Mengzi, Yuan An didn't run very fast. But if he left Lin Mengzi behind, Yuan An couldn't guarantee that he could outrun a 5th level superpower. This was a very difficult choice. If you take me with you, he will not let you go. Lin Mengzi said. Hey, are you warning me? I'm just reminding you. Yuan An didn't want to talk nonsense with her and concentrated on planning the route to escape. Behind him, a group of Abyss guards were chasing him relentlessly. Suddenly, they saw Yuan An and Lin Mengzi change the direction to escape. This way, catch up. They decisively changed the direction to catch up. Little did they know that those were just two clones of Yuan An, and the real body was still moving forward. This dense forest is very large. Yuan An ran for 3 or 4 hours and didn't see the end for a long time. It was even getting wilder and wilder, with no signs of activity at all. No, I can't run anymore. Lin Mengzi had to stop, panting, sweat dripping from her forehead, and her face was a little pale. She was sealed by Yuan An and couldn't use too much spiritual power. Running for so long in one breath was already her limit. Even Yuan An was a little out of breath. They shouldn't have caught up with us. Yuan An also left a few clones along the way as cover, and once they were discovered, they would lead the others to other directions. Now it has been 3 hours since they were caught up by the guards of the Abyss. Then take a break and continue on your way. Knowing that Lin Mengzi had reached her limit, Yuan An did not force her to run. Before it was confirmed that it was safe, Lin Mengzi was his amulet and could not be let go easily. After resting for half an hour, the two continued on their way. This time they drove for more than 3 hours, but still couldn't get out of the forest. Instead, it was already dark. It shouldn't be so easy for them to catch up. Let's take a rest first. Yuan An found a cave of a second order, level 1 monster in the nearby mountains. He not only robbed the monster's cave, but also killed the monster for dinner. In the cave, a bonfire was rising. Yuan An was grilling meat, and Lin Mengzi sat quietly beside him, looking extra well behaved. Along the way, she had been very obedient, and didn't make any noise, which saved a lot of trouble. Here you go. After grilling the meat, Yuan An tore off a thigh for Lin Mengzi. He was still humane in treating prisoners. At least he had to be a human being before he was done using them. Lin Mengzi didn't refuse, and took the barbecue, and ate it silently. Something was wrong. It was definitely wrong. Why could Lin Mengzi be so calm? Hey, why are you so quiet? Aren't you afraid of being held hostage by me? Yuan An asked. Why should I be afraid? Lin Mengzi asked back. Besides, I think it's good to come out. I always wanted to leave that hellhole before but never had the chance. This time, it was a blessing in disguise and I finally came out. Her words made Yuan An stunned for a moment. From what she said, Yuan An could be considered to have saved Lin Mengzi. What is your identity? Guess. Lin Mengzi's eyes suddenly showed a trace of cunning. I'm a child, and you're still guessing? Hurry up and tell me. Why are you so fierce? There's no fun at all. Lin Mengzi muttered and said honestly, in fact, I don't have any identity. I'm just the fiancé of the Azure Dragon Demon General. Ahem. Yuan An was choked, and his face was very strange. You are his fiancé? He really didn't expect this. He actually kidnapped someone else's fiancé. Although she is his fiancé, I don't like her at all. It's just because of my father that I was trapped there. Although she was his fiancé, Lin Mengzi had never been touched by the Azure Dragon Demon General, and they didn't even have physical contact at ordinary times. But the Azure Dragon Demon General imprisoned her in that prison city, and would not let her out. That prison city not only locked up the prisoners, but also her heart, that yearned for freedom in the sky. Chapter 73, Mission, Escape from the Abyss. Yuan An was quite depressed. He originally thought that Lin Mengzi was just a lady, but he didn't expect that she was actually the fiancé of the Azure Dragon Demon General. Kidnapping someone else's fiancé. This is no small matter. It is estimated that the Azure Dragon Demon General will keep chasing after him. After all, no one can watch his fiancé being abducted by others. Hiss. How to deal with Lin Mengzi? Are you scared? As if sensing Yuan An's inner entanglement, Lin Mengzi suddenly asked, with a bit of lightness and cunning pride in her words. Don't be too arrogant. You should know that you are a prisoner now. If you are so arrogant, be careful that I will drag you down with me before I die. Yuan An said viciously. He was already annoyed, and Lin Mengzi dared to mock him. Question mark? You won't. Without me as a hostage, you can't get out of here. So, you must take me with you to have a chance to leave safely. The girl ate the barbecue in small bites, slowly and elegantly. This is not a reason for you to show off. You have to understand that, even if I can't escape, I have my own choice. What I mean is that I can help you escape from here together. Lin Mengzi looked at her with sincerity and seriousness on her pretty face. Huh? What do you mean, you don't want to go back? Yuan An was stunned. Of course I don't want to go back. Who wants to stay in a prison? If I hadn't been unable to get out before, I would have wanted to run away a long time ago. Lin Mengzi looked angry. The prison city itself is a huge prison. Anyone with a normal mind would not like to stay in it. So, you haven't told me where this place is? How can I get out? Why did the Azure Dragon Demon General capture me? Yuan An only knew that he was caught in the abyss, but where exactly is the abyss? How far is it from the human world? He still doesn't know anything until now. That prison city is called Dragon City. It is named after the Azure Dragon Demon General who guards it. Its main responsibility is to detain and interrogate various prisoners and human captives to obtain intelligence. We captured you because you are an elite student of the Shengsha Empire, and because you performed better than your companions, so we captured you. There are no less than 100 talented human beings, like you captured in Dragon City. They are all for interrogating the intelligence of your human city, and studying the strengths and weaknesses of you human beings. Lin Mengzi told everything honestly. Putting aside the credibility, this situation still surprised Yuan An. The Abyss has actually begun to study them humans? Does that mean that the Abyss is brewing a big plan? After they have studied humans clearly, will they start to invade humans? Exclamation mark. Thinking of this, Yuan An couldn't help but shudder slightly. The Abyss has always been the most powerful enemy of mankind. But after the last battle between humans and the Abyss, after humans won, the Abyss has been silent for hundreds of years without any major moves. Unexpectedly, they did not really settle down, but have been studying secretly, waiting for a perfect opportunity to counterattack humans. This is not good news. Aren't you from the Abyss? Why do you tell me so much? Yuan An suddenly asked. Lin Mengzi is from the Abyss. Why did she tell him this information? We have to be vigilant here. This may just be a smoker screen. Who told you that I'm from the Abyss? Don't you have to face the monsters of the abyss in the annual freshman assessment of Shengjing College? Do you feel the breath of the abyss on me? Lin Mengzi asked back. Then if you are not from the abyss, then who are you? And you are the fiancé of the Azure Dragon Demon General. Yuan An did not feel the breath of the abyss on Lin Mengzi, but this does not rule out that she is not from the abyss. He is not so stupid as to believe Lin Mengzi so easily. After all, Lin Mengzi is the fiancé of the Azure Dragon Demon General, and she is an absolute enemy of Yuan An. Anyway, I'm not from the abyss, believe it or not. Lin Mengzi also has a temper. Whether Yuan An believes it or not, she is too lazy to explain it so much. There is another question you haven't answered me. Where exactly is this place in the abyss? How far is it from the human world? This is what Yuan An is most concerned about, because this determines whether he can leave. Lin Mengzi said calmly, you can rest assured about this. Dragon City is the closest abyss city to our human world. The nearest human city should be the world's extreme north, Yuan City, which is about 100 kilometers away. Yuan An, more than 100 kilometers is not far? Question mark? They have nothing now. If they run more than 100 kilometers on foot, they will be exhausted. Yuan City is the extreme north of the human world. It is the first wall of mankind to resist the abyss, and also the strongest defense. And Yuan City is more than 3,000 kilometers away from Shengjing College. In other words, Yuan An was caught more than 3,000 kilometers away at the border between the Shengsha Empire and the Lo's Empire. How to go back this distance? Question mark? Yuan An was completely dumbfounded. And the most important thing now was not how to cross more than 3,000 kilometers to go home, but how to cross more than 100 kilometers, leave the abyss, and return to the human world? Exclamation mark. Headache. It was really a headache. Yuan An felt that he was going to explode. Difficult. Lin Mengzi looked at Yuan An carefully from the side. Although Yuan An's calmness throughout the journey surprised her, in fact, Yuan An was not much older than her. They were the same age, but Yuan An's actual performance surprised her. Normally, in such a situation, he might have been scared to the point of being unable to walk. What are you looking at? If you look again, I'll dig out your eyes. Yuan An, who was already upset, saw Lin Mengzi looking at him, and he got angry all of a sudden, and yelled at her, which scared Lin Mengzi. If you don't want to look, then don't look. Why are you so fierce? She muttered and turned her face away. The current situation is not optimistic, but Yuan An still forced himself to calm down. No matter what the situation is, he must not lose his composure. Once you panic, you will have no chance. Ding. Triggering the mission. Escape from the abyss. Mission reward. 100,000 energy points. The system's voice suddenly rang in his mind, shocking Yuan An. 100,000 energy points. An unprecedentedly generous mission reward. Go for it. Whether for his own safety, or for the generous reward of this mission, he must go for it. Yuan An suddenly had another goal to motivate him to leave the abyss. 100,000 energy points. This must be taken. Chapter 74, Hunting. As night fell, Yuan An and Lin Mengzi had nothing to say, and each of them leaned against the wall to sleep. Of course, Yuan An left a few clones, both to keep watch and to monitor Lin Mengzi to prevent her from escaping. The night seemed to be spent quietly like this. Bang. Suddenly, a loud noise came from outside the cave, and Yuan An and Lin Mengzi woke up instantly. The abyss guards are catching up. Let's go. Yuan An decisively pulled Lin Mengzi up, and walked out of the cave. Just now, the clones he left outside to keep watch were all killed at once. The abyss guards who caught up were not simple. But just when Yuan An and Lin Mengzi arrived at the entrance of the cave, 2 3rd order 10th level abyss guards had successfully caught up and blocked their way. What a fast speed. Yuan An narrowed his eyes slightly and decisively pulled out the standard short knife behind him. Zila. A strong electric current quickly jumped out of the standard short knife and shot towards the 2 guards. Bang. The abyss guard simply waved the spear in his hand and easily deflected the 2 arcs of electricity. Is it so strong? Yuan An's face changed slightly, and he took Lin Mengzi back step by step into the cave. Handing over Miss Lin will make your death more painful. The abyss guard said. You can ask her if she is willing to go back with you, Yuan An said as he retreated. Lin Mengzi's heart sank at this moment. Although Yuan An's performance along the way was very good, he was only a level 10 of the second stage after all. Moreover, he had never seen Yuan An's real combat power and only knew that he had a clone ability and an illusion that resided in the spirit pupil system. Now being blocked in the cave, it was already a dead end. Unless Yuan An continued to use her as a shield, it would be impossible to escape. If you don't hand over Miss Lin, then go to hell. The two Abyss guards actually attacked directly, regardless of Yuan An blocking Lin Mengxi in front of him, and thrust out their spears, intending to pierce Lin Mengxi and Yuan An together. These guys don't seem to care much about your life or death. Yuan An did not forget to tease at the critical moment. Seeing that the spear was about to stab, Yuan An decisively made a seal with one hand, flying thunder god technique. Swish. The next moment, he took Lin Mengxi and disappeared in the cave and appeared outside the cave. A moment of trance made Lin Mengxi unable to react. She stared at the scene around her in a daze and said in surprise, "Space power. Only space power can do such a thing. Don't think I really have no preparation." Yuan An faced the cave and made seals with both hands. Would release. Great forest technique. Boom. The trees spread, collapsing the entire cave and burying the two Abyss guards inside. But these two Abyss guards were only a part of them, and there were still a lot of Abyss guards catching up. Yuan An left 5 wooden clones to stand guard along the way, but they were all killed at once, which means that there must be a lot of Abyss guards, and they must not stay any longer. This way, the two had to move forward in the dark again. "Can't you remove my seal? Then you don't have to take me with you all the time," Lin Mengxi suddenly said. "You want to trick me into helping you remove the seal? Don't treat me like a fool." Yuan An still hasn't really believed in Lin Mengxi. If he removes her seal, who knows if she will suddenly turn around and stab him? He's not that stupid. Huh. There was a rapid whistling sound behind him. Yuan An looked back and saw a few pairs of bloodthirsty beast eyes that were particularly obvious in the dark. Abyss monsters. At first, Yuan An was still surprised that there were no monsters in such a large forest. As a result, the Abyss monsters are now catching up. And there are quite a few of them. They can track Yuan An scent and chase him all the way. Damn, no wonder they could find me so quickly. Yuan An formed a seal with one hand while running, and a wooden clone was created to continue running with Lin Mengxi. He himself suddenly stopped, turned around decisively, and formed seals with both hands quickly. Would release. Cutting technique. Puff. Large pieces of sharp wooden thorns shot out, densely shooting at the chasing Abyss monsters. All the monsters shot by the wooden thorns will have their wooden thorns split instantly and grow several sharp wooden thorns, piercing these monsters from the inside. "If you want to chase me so much, keep going." Yuan An was also angry. It was too frustrating to keep running away. Just some 3rd level Abyss guards and Abyss monsters. Those who didn't know would think he couldn't beat them. In addition to the Abyss monsters responsible for tracking, other Abyss guards also caught up one after another. Just as Yuan An thought, there were more than a dozen Abyss guards and more than a dozen Abyss monsters. Kill him. Seeing that Yuan An was alone, they showed no mercy. Abyss Earth. Abyss Thunder. Abyss Fire. Abyss Flood. Abyss Whirlwind. For a moment, the basic abilities of the 5 attributes, wrapped in the dark energy of the Abyss, all rushed towards Yuan An. Pop. Yuan An decisively put his hands together, a gleam in his eyes, and shouted, "Would release tree world birth." Boom. Countless trees broke out of the ground, and the wildly overlapping trees were like countless dragons going out to sea, rushing towards the groups of Abyss guards and Abyss monsters. This place was originally a forest, and would release was most suitable for dealing with large enemies or groups of enemies. The various abilities displayed by the Abyss guards were instantly swallowed up, and they were also swallowed up by Yuan An's would release, and forcibly turned into nutrients for the trees. Ding. Successfully killed the 3rd level 10th level Abyss guard, and gained 3100 experience. Congratulations to the host for successfully reaching level 3, level 1. Ding. Successfully killed level 3, level 10 Abyss guards, and gained 3100 experience points. Ding. Chengming killed level 3, level 10 Abyss monster, and gained 3100 experience points. Ding. Successfully killed level 3, level 10 Abyss monster, and gained 310 experience points. Congratulations to the host for successfully reaching level 3. Level 2. Experience points required for the next level. 15,000. Abyss monster has so much experience points. Yuan An was stunned. A normal monster only has a few hundred experience points. But the experience points of Abyss monster have increased tenfold. I seem to have found a way to get rich. Yuan An was excited. But at this moment, a huge purple energy hand suddenly appeared above his head and fell down. Fortunately, Yuan An reacted quickly and dodged quickly. Bang! The big hand fell and slapped a huge handprint 5 meters deep on the ground. Yuan An's heart tightened. If he hadn't dodged and been hit by this palm, he would have been beaten into a pulp on the spot. Then, he resolutely looked up at the man who fell from the sky, the Azure Dragon Demon General. Chapter 75. The Azure Dragon Demon General's Pursuit. Blue Dragon Demon General. Looking at the man in front of him who looked nothing special, but was shrouded in a depressing atmosphere, Yuan An immediately entered the highest state of alert. Among the many humans I have captured, you are the only one who can escape from Dragon City so far. You are very capable. The Blue Dragon Demon General showed a look of approval in his eyes, but then turned into a sinister look. But you shouldn't involve Mengzi. This will be the reason for your death. After the words fell, the Blue Dragon Demon General suddenly raised his hand and grabbed through the air. The huge abyss hand appeared out of thin air again and grabbed Yuan An head on. So fast. Yuan An's pupils shrank slightly and he stepped back decisively, then raised his palm. Taboo Creation Star Rain. A water blue magic circle quickly condensed in front of him and thousands of water droplets shot out from it, all hitting the abyss hand. Z. The Creation Star Rain, which can directly kill groups of 3rd level monsters in seconds, seemed so weak at this moment. It could only barely dissolve a layer of energy on the surface of the abyss hand, and couldn't even penetrate it. But this also gave Yuan An a chance to dodge, making the attack of the abyss hand miss. As expected of a demon general, this level of power is not easy to deal with. Yuan An was under great pressure. In this situation, it was already difficult to maintain a normal level. That kind of invisible pressure was like a mountain pressing on him, and even breathing became difficult. The Demon General was already the top level of combat power in the abyss. Normally, to deal with him, at least a human strongman of Fang Weifeng's level was needed. Although Yuan An was confident, he was not confident enough to think that he could deal with the Demon General. You can actually use a taboo level superpower. I'm quite surprised that you can use a taboo level superpower. Now, I can't let you run away. A 3rd level to level superpower user actually mastered a taboo level superpower, which surprised the Azure Dragon Demon General. In other words, Yuan An's level was a little low. If a 4th level to level superpower user used it, the taboo level superpower would also cause certain damage to the Azure Dragon Demon General. If Yuan An was let go, no one knew how much he would grow in the future. The Azure Dragon Demon General would not allow a person who might threaten the abyss in the future to grow up freely. You just stay here. The Azure Dragon Demon General raised his hand and pressed it again. This time, he attacked very quickly and with great pressure. The purple abyss hand was like a mountain pressing down on Yuan An. Seeing that he was no match for him, Yuan An quickly formed a seal, Flying Thunder God technique. Swish. 1 second before the abyss hand landed on him, Yuan An disappeared from the spot, making the abyss hand's attack miss. Escaped. The Azure Dragon Demon General was slightly stunned. A level 2 human of the 3rd order could actually escape from his hands. This feeling, space power. He felt it carefully and found something wrong. Where Yuan An was originally, there was a trace of fluctuation of space power, which surprised the Azure Dragon Demon General even more. This guy even has spatial abilities. Taboo level abilities plus spatial abilities. This human being must not be allowed to leave the abyss. The Azure Dragon Demon General's eyes suddenly flashed with brilliance, and he burst out with amazing speed, quickly chasing forward. There are still 50 kilometers to the Thousand Cold capital. In the forest, the wooden clone is leading Lin Mengzi all the way forward, and the next second Yuan An caught up with them through the Flying Thunder God technique. Caught up so quickly? Lin Mengzi was still a little surprised and curious about Yuan An's Flying Thunder God technique. The Azure Dragon Demon General has caught up. The wooden clone only took Lin Mengzi less than 10 kilometers away. With the speed of the Azure Dragon Demon General, He should be able to catch up soon. It is indeed a bit difficult to run with Lin Mengxi. Stop. Yuan An and the wooden clone stopped at the same time. You can't leave me, Lin Mengxi said immediately, as if she had thought of something. Shut up. Yuan An didn't want to deal with her now. It would be too obvious to run with Lin Mengxi like this, and the Azure Dragon Demon General would definitely chase after them. Would release multiple wood clone technique. He formed seals with both hands and created 10 wood clones in one breath, then made 5 of them look like Lin Mengxi, pairing up in pairs and continuing to run forward from different directions. Yuan An's real body took the real Lin Mengxi and chose to move forward in a roundabout way, no longer running straight. Although this would be a little slower, it could disrupt the vision of the Abyss Demon General to a certain extent. If it's just a clone, you can't hide it from the Azure Dragon Demon General, Lin Mengxi kindly reminded. Then you have to be mentally prepared. If you can't hide it, and the Azure Dragon Demon General catches up, you will be buried with me, Yuan An said coldly. Lin Mengxi was silent for a moment, and suddenly said, I know there is a secret passage that the Azure Dragon Demon General doesn't know. Where? This way. Lin Mengxi pointed to the valley next to him. After hesitating for a moment, Yuan An chose to believe Lin Mengxi and walked towards the valley. The valley was overgrown with weeds and was sparsely populated. Even monsters would not come here. Moreover, the peaks on both sides were so high that it was difficult to find them from above. The Azure Dragon Demon General soon found out where Yuan An and the wooden clone were acting separately. This aura, are you trying to use the clones to confuse me? He frowned slightly, carefully felt the auras that were spreading out, but his brows frowned even tighter. Can't tell them apart? The Azure Dragon Demon General found that he could not tell which was Yuan An's clone and which was Yuan An's original body. Most of the clone's abilities are just a trick. Their actual combat power is not comparable to that of the original body, and their aura is much more superficial than that of the original body. However, anyone with a little more combat experience can tell them apart. The Azure Dragon Demon General did not dare to say that he was invincible, but he had fought in countless battlefields and had seen many clones' abilities. Except for a few strong men of the same level as him, he could see through the clones' abilities at a glance. But Yuan An's wooden clone made him unable to tell them apart. The aura of each clone is exactly the same as the original body. Does this guy still have such a high-level clone ability? As expected, he must not be allowed to go back. This further solidified the idea of the Azure Dragon Demon General to capture Yuan An. Taboo power, space power, and high-level clone power. It is not easy to take out any of these 3 alone. But now Yuan An has all 3. The Azure Dragon Demon General has a hunch that, if Yuan An runs back, he will definitely become a difficult enemy in the future. Today, don't even think about running. The Azure Dragon Demon General decisively chased after the first wooden clone. Since he can't tell them apart, just capture all the clones. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.